What is happening? Hello. Why is my computer working so slow? What's happening? Hello, hello. Where is Moo? Oh, Moo's on the other chair sleeping. Hello, guys. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello. Hey, Terry. Hey, say no. Hello, hello. Thank you, Mama Bugs. Hello, Crystal. Hey, Graveyard. Hey, guys. Hello, hello. Hey, Dana. How are you? Hey, Sherry. Hello, hello, hello. Hello in New Hampshire. Hey, Sean. Hello, Jana. Hello, Amanda. Hello, Mags. Hello, Shannon. Hey, Sherry and Jeremy. How are you? Hello, Mags. Aw. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was a cat? Nope, my face is good, or at least it's still intact anyway. Hello, Miranda, how are you? Hey, Crazy Writer. So how is the weekend going for everybody? Thank you, Ness. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I'm wicked. I'm with you. It is so busy on my end. I'm surprised I'm even on. I knocked out before. I was so tired. But yeah, thank you guys. It was busy for me too. Bless you. My husband's sneezing. But yeah, it was so busy for me today. Every kid had something to do today. And I'm like, I'm only one person. It is a little chilly here today. It is. I love it though. I love it, love it, love it. Oh, my husband's having a sneezing attack. Oh, I had one gymnastics training for 4 hours. I had one at a soccer game for 3 hours. I had one who had a competition for her color guard. And I was supposed to do one's birthday party today. And she's like, Mama, I'm so tired. Can we do it tomorrow? I'm like, we could do it tomorrow. And so, yeah. It was just one of those busy, like you have to be everywhere. My husband's like, I'll take one kid, you take one kid. What are we going to do with the other kid? And I'm just like... So we're switching back and forth, and I'm running to soccer fields. He's running gymnastics. He's over at the high school doing the color guard, and we're all like all over the place, just driving so everyone can make sure that they saw both of us there. It was just like, I am so tired. I'm getting a little too old for this. So yeah, it really was exhausting. I'm just waiting for Jackie. Should be on in just a minute. Hey, Mercy, how are you? How you doing down in Florida? Everything's good? Thank you, Graveyard. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Jackie should be up here in just a minute. Good, I'm glad. You would think someone was getting beat there? Oh, there you go. Hey, Shell, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Hello, Sunshine. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Nicole, thank you. Oh, I missed you guys too. What time is it there? It's 1 in the morning? Oh, it's 8:19 p.m. here. Oh, wow. So let me ask you guys, did you guys see Gypsy at the university? What do you guys think about that? Hey, True Crime. I'm Eastern Time, yeah. Thank you, Binks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Unfortunately, I know, that made me so angry. It really did. Not, then you're gonna ask her about the Menendez brothers, like that. Just a mess. No, she shouldn't have not. She should not have been there. Absolutely not. And her Barbara Bush, someone said Barbara Bush. I heard Jackie O. I heard, like, it was so funny the way. I mean, what was happening there? And where'd the belly bump go? Thank you, thank you. Oh, I look good. I really do look good in a mustache. Thank you, thank you. But where did the belly bump go? Did anybody see that disappeared again? Like, what's happening? She was trying to be so proper, like she wasn't a schmurderer. But she's a schmurderer. So there's that. Doesn't matter what kind of ugly dress you get, you're still going to be who you are. It is what it is. So, let me see who's in here. The dress, I know. I don't know. What were you trying to be? I mean, just again, it goes right back to being real. You could have picked anything cuter. I mean, I know you buy your clothes off Temu, but I'm sure Temu had something cuter than that, or wherever, Shein, or wherever she buys her clothes from. But like, for real, you could have went to a thrift shop and grabbed something better than that. That was nonsense. Hey, Jackie, what were you telling me about her dress?
Whose dress?
Gypsy's when she was at the university.
That she looks like a 1960s presidential candidate's wife?
That's so funny. And the shoes. Oh my God, yeah. The dress was more than $100? No, it wasn't. Stop it. She paid money for that?
Have you guys noticed
So
anything
wait,
about
let
my
me get this straight though. She doesn't pay for the normal stuff, but she'd pay for that shit? Is she not ass backwards? She's no Jackie O. No, she's no Jackie O. Let's not even give her that.
Have you noticed anything about me? About me, anybody? Has anybody noticed anything yet?
Hey guys, what's different with Jackie?
I quit my job as a medium, guys.
She got a new job. She's now back in the box. It didn't even look like she looked a hot mess. Now, if you're pregnant, I could put on a beautiful black professional jumper if you're pregnant. That's what I would have worn. You know, one of those really nice, elegant jumpers, though, so your belly's got a little bit of room, a nice pair of heels, and that's how I would have called it a day. Like, if I had to dress up and pregnant, I would have put on a nice, sleek but comfortable jumper, to be honest.
Yeah, but number one, you wouldn't have helped unalive your mum, and number two, you
there's
definitely
that.
wouldn't be going to a university and speaking either.
You're paying all this money for a PR team. Get yourself a damn stylist or call your sister. Call your sister. That's all you got to do is call your sister. Nobody in my house would ever let me go out in something like that. They'd be like, no, no, no. My kids would be like, no, Mom, no. My sister would be like, you're wearing that? No. Nope. You just, people don't, I don't know. Your man didn't tell you? No. Because my husband has many a time been like, you tired? Like, you really want to wear that? When he says to me, you're really going to wear that? I'm like, I'll be right back.
Yeah, nah, that was a no
My
from
husband's
me.
honest with me, though, and I love it. Because they'd be like, nah, you don't want to wear that. So, she's looked, 1 minute she's talking about being in her crop tops and then the next minute you're going to sit there trying to look like an old lady. Give her a walker. She would have been like, you know what I mean? 90.
She may as well. What was that song she was singing with her mum? She may as well dress like
The
that,
next
put a
day,
bow
the
on her head.
university promoted mental illness awareness day. Well, ain't
Oh,
that
funny
something?
that.
Like, that's really... Ken telling her what to wear, wears the same shirt I know. He's trying to pull off the whole, who's the guy on the, what's his name? The cute guy, the guy you love to, you hate him but you love him. On the singing
same
show,
thing.
or America's Got Talent, or,
Ryan
what's his name?
Seacrest,
No, not that one.
Simon Cowell.
Simon Cowell, like, he just wears that t-shirt every time. He's the only man that can get away with that, I'm just saying. And I don't know what it is about that guy, but I love him. I sure do. My husband's in there now going, like, I know you're there. I'm not leaving you for Simon Cowell, just saying. Maybe. Yeah. My grandma wears the same shoes, so do the nuns. That's what I'm saying. But she did always
See
want to be
who
Sister Gypsy, so there's that.
who was on Good Day LA? What's that?
She was. I'm sure she did multiple. I didn't watch all of it yet because I just, she that irked my nerves. Seeing that really made me angry because I'm like, that's what's wrong with our country. Like, it really did make me mad. Gordon Ramsay is hot. I don't care what anybody says. Hell yeah. Yep.
What?
You can fiddle on my griddle, baby.
Oh my goodness.
He is. Gordon Ramsay's hot. And just that, like, take charge, like, I'll tell you off attitude is kind of like, yeah, all right, you can match my dominance. All right, let's see. So,
Listen,
you're real.
what do you mean that Gordon Ramsay's hot?
You don't think Gordon, there's something about, you know what? And that's where it comes to sometimes looks isn't always it. Because I don't look at him and be like, oh, he's a hot man. I look at him and I'm like, he's a decent man. But when he starts talking, I'm like, all right, you just got like 20% hotter. Just because of like their personality and their attitude and their, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's not just looks. And it's the attitude behind it that just makes him like Simon Cowell. He's a good looking man, but he's so much hotter because the second you open your mouth, it's like, hell yeah.
That's what I said about dudes with tattoos and shit, like the bad boy type red flags.
Yeah, I'm not so much with the tattoo, you know what I mean? I don't know. There's something about a guy who could put me in my place. I'm a toughie. I am a toughie. So when a guy can put me in my place, I get a lot of respect. It's kind of a turn on for me. You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah, but he grabbed a woman and put a piece of bread between her head and said, "Are you an idiot sandwich?" And that turns you on.
Well, no, see, not about that. No, I don't like that kind of nonsense. I just like a man just, respectfully put me in my place. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, there's something hot about it.
Listen here, Ivory, get in your place.
You know what I mean? Like, my husband is not, my husband, he's very like soft spoken. He's very sweet. He's very kind. But my husband will be the first one to be like, wait, hold on. Now nope, you're wrong. And it's kind of like, yeah, that's hot. Like when we fight, I'm just like, damn, why are we fighting right now? Because this is when you're the most hot. This is when I want to jump on you. And my husband knows it. That's why we don't fight. Because it always ends up in, yeah, we know where this is going. We might as well just start fighting in our bedrooms because, yeah, baby, come at me.
Oh, next talk with Ivory. Let's go.
All right, this is getting a little weird. Just saying. Well, what? How old do you think I am, man? I could still, I'm still. Yeah, I'll be that little old lady can someone come pick up your mother because she's like, I'm finding her in the men's rooms and shit. Yeah, I'll be that woman. Hell yeah, I'm gonna be that little old lady in the.
No one said you were old. What do you mean?
Well, you sit there acting like, oh my god, did you just say the S word? Like you still do that? Yeah. What? I'm in the prime of my life. What are you talking about? That's exactly the reason I got so many kids because I know certain people know how to put me in my place. So there's that. Gordon Ramsay's butt. I've never seen Gordon Ramsay's butt.
No, I just think you're funny the way you explain things. I think it's funny.
I was like, I walked in at a great time. Yeah, we were talking about Gypsy Rose. How did we get onto men's asses?
Gordon Ramsay got us there.
Yeah, he can get you anywhere. Just saying.
What are you drinking? That looks good.
Water. It's like a lemon lime sparkling water.
Oh.
Someone just said I can't see it. It's a Perrier lemon lime. Honestly, I'd rather talk about Simon Cowell's chest and freaking Gordon Ramsay's hotness, than what the freak Gypsy Rose can or can't wear any day and twice on Sunday. But unfortunately, This is what our show is about, so we can go back to, could she not afford to go to a freaking Goodwill? Looks like she borrowed that from grandma or something. She didn't even, yeah, what is up with that? Like, you sit there on TikTok, it looks like, you're 45 filters, you're trying to spend 3 hours to make it look like you just rolled out of bed, but you don't get ready to go speak in front of people live. Like, what's wrong with people? But then again, I guess you can't filter reality, so there's that,
Conspiracy found out that the dress was worth $138.
Oh, crap. Really?
Yeah, she got the screenshot. It's $138.
Where?
I don't know. What's the place, guys? That Conspiracy put up? What's the place where she got it from? I don't know, but she found the picture and she found the dress and she found how much it was, and it was $138.
That's so funny. If you guys don't follow Conspiracy, you guys got to go over. Make sure you give her a follow.
Yeah,
She's
guys.
got great content, and yeah, you can always guarantee that Conspiracy's got the info.
And in the post, someone said,
Bush Museum, yes.
Is she gonna throw it out after spending $138?
Who just said that? Hold on, who just said that? Yes, the shoulder. You guys saw the shoulder. I thought shoulder pads went out 40 years ago. Are they back again? Please, I'm not trying. I can't. I got broad shoulders. Why was she wearing shoulder pads?
I don't
Like,
know.
is that a thing? Are we still doing that?
Yeah, Sherry saw a comment from the designer, and then when they saw the comment from the designer,
Does he have the designer? It's not like mass created in a freaking. All right.
nah, from the page that she got it from, then Conspiracy went to that page and showed us how much it was, $138 for that ugly ass thing.
That's what I'm saying. I haven't seen shoulder pads since the 80s, man. Why are we wearing shoulder pads? Did she not? Listen, she's all over TikTok. Get the fuck off drama talk and start going to fashion talk, because you're in the wrong talk and you ain't ticking. So I need you to go and know that we stopped wearing stockings with nun shoes, I don't know, 6 decades ago.
Did you just say she ain't ticking?
When nuns were teaching, that's when that was worn. And then shoulder pads. Like, first of all, you're 4 foot, a petite little person. What the fuck are you wearing shoulder pads for? She looked like a transformer. Oh, I saw those shoulders were coming all out. What the hell's happening?
Mel said the buttons are ready to
Somebody
pop.
sent me a picture of it. I don't have a picture of it on my phone, on my computer. I have it on my phone. Somebody send me a picture of it, please. But it's absolutely ridiculous. The roses on the nylons. Guys, someone tell me, we stopped wearing stockings and shit years ago, right? Because I go out bare-legged. Am I doing something wrong? I don't think I've worn stockings. Like, maybe if it's really cold out and I have to wear a short dress, like, I'll wear stockings. But you ain't knowing. Like, didn't we stop wearing stockings? Like, aren't we bare-legged now? Right? Yeah, I go bare-legged to church. Yeah, me too. I do. I just go bare-legged. And honestly, like, I have a really bad vein in my leg because from nursing all those years and standing on my feet, that it's like I really kind of wish they would come back, but they were so uncomfortable that I put a cover up on the like the really bad vein on my leg, and you can't even see it. Like, who the fuck wears stockings anymore? Why is that a thing? And in California, I could see if you were in fucking Alaska or something, then maybe I'd let you slide because it was a little chilly, but nah. Quick stop at Goodwill had to be right.
No, they do
Honestly,
look like, you know,
we
when
got something better at Goodwill. They're coming back. What's coming back? Please tell me that shoulder pads are not coming back, because then
no, they're
I
not. You know,
black
when you
stockings.
do, you
I
go
mean,
with your friends.
I see. It depends on what you wear black stockings with, though. I can see the black stockings with, like, I've worn black stockings with, like, a sweater dress. And so it just depends on what and how you wear them. Like, I don't wear them with every dress that I wear. It just depends, like, what you are wearing it with and how you wear them. Are you wearing them because you need stockings, or are you wearing them because it accents the outfit, in my opinion? You know what I mean? Winter. I kind of wear stockings. I don't wear tights underneath, like, with dresses and stuff like that. And I usually don't wear stockings but I have worn black if it went with, like, the outfit that I was wearing, and sometimes you just need that little bit of an accent, but not because I don't know. Yeah, the pattern tights were popular. I had a pair of those in the second grade. They were cute. They had little daisies on them everywhere and all that.
You know when you go to like an op shop or a Goodwill and your friend and you are doing dress ups for fun and you're laughing at each other? What Gypsy was wearing is what my friend would be like, look at this, I found this. Like, you know what I mean? It's like one of those outfits that you wear to laugh at your friend in the shop. Like,
Yeah. So you know what me and my friends used to do? We used to sit there and take $10, and everyone would have to buy. Everyone would go to a thrift stop, and you'd have $10 to buy a whole outfit. And it was like, what was the best outfit that you can come up with, or like what was the craziest, depending on what the theme was. And we really would do like fun little stuff like that. And that's exactly what that looks like to me.
exactly. That's the outfit that your friend would wear that you'd be like, oh my God, I wouldn't be caught dead in that. And she'd be like, I know.
Can someone email a picture of the dress, the outfit to me, please, with all the transformer shoulders and everything?
Tess,
Hello,
I want to know
Kelly,
who told her it
Australia.
looked good on her too. Who told her that? Who said this looks good on you? Wear this. Who said that to her?
I don't know. If Ken did it,
Hey, Kelly.
Ken was being cruel. Just saying. If he let you walk out of the house like that, he was being cruel or didn't care. Because my husband, and he would never be like, "That's ugly. Don't wear that. You don't look good." He'd just be like, "Oh, is that what you're wearing?" And when he says that, that's my cue that he doesn't want to be rude, but something's not right. Because we all have those days where it's just like I need to throw something on, and he'll be like, "Is that's what you're wearing?" She went from raunchy Ruby to Mother Teresa. That's what I'm saying. She just missed the bonnet. I asked if it was her mom's old dress, right? I'm telling you.
Oh, Susan.
But it did. That would be the time error. Like, did you pull something out of like, I don't know. Christy doesn't look like she gets dressed, so I wouldn't say Christy, but like Mia didn't stop you. Nobody stopped you. You didn't check first. Like I'd be on the phone. Like even if I had to travel and go somewhere, I'm on the phone with my sister, like propping the phone up, going, "Is this all right? You check. You see? Can you see the underwear line? Like we're doing all that. You know what I mean? Like it is what it is. Like my sister be like, "Don't do that." Like come on.
When's you're so funny.
Yes. Didn't Barbara Bush wear a dress to the funeral, something like that? Ken was doing it to her on purpose.
Someone told her the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I want to know, like, you're sitting there, like, what made you, why'd you pick it off the rack to even look at it in the first place? Like, why would you be like, oh, let me try this one on? That would be a swipe, 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 that's going. That would be a swiper. That's not even a let me pick it up off the rack and look at it.
They reckon she looks like Monica Lewinsky or Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, who said Monica Lewinsky? Oh my God, yes.
I remember when she was cheating on, she was the mistress, wasn't she, for Bill Clinton? I was little when that happened, but Bill Clinton's like, I did not have sexual relations with that woman. And he did. So I was like, oh my God.
And was it a knit? Is it a knit dress? It looks knit. Like that doesn't even look like a material.
Pink Pony said Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah, it does. It screams Monica Lewinsky, yes. And then you got the belly and like the buttons don't even close. So it's like, that gap in the shirt here for the big breasted women. You all know what I'm talking about when you can't get that little piece to close. Well, she's got that around her stomach. So what are you doing? Why would you have buttons and you're pregnant? Like, what are you doing?
That's why they were saying in the comments that the buttons look like they were popping out. Like, see how the buttons look like they were like getting ready to leave the dress?
They were. I'm surprised somebody didn't sue her for getting poked in the eye because the damn button went flying. That's crazy. Is that purple or blue?
It's purple. They
Now
want
it looks.
to, when they see it, they want to see the dress. Some people haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Was it maternity wear?
No. With buttons? By the belly? No. No. That wasn't a maternity dress. There's no way that anybody who designs clothes thought that was a good idea.
They're like Barney Purple vibes.
Right? Why would you do that to yourself? Like,
When
really? Like,
has anybody not seen it? She can show you.
hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm just trying to get her whole body in the camera, so, but I can't, so it is what it is. Let me just make sure I got nothing else pulled up here. I sure do have a heading on my computer that says Gordon Ramsay's butt, so there's that.
Stop it! You don't. You do not.
I do. Yes, I do.
Oh my goodness.
Like, you see how it's busting right there? Like, why would you wear that? Like, and
Look at
you're 4 foot tall and petite. Well, look at the shoulder pads hanging out. Why do they look like that?
how
And what's up with
embarrassing.
your hair? You know, you know when you get a baby doll and it's got that really pretty hair, but then like a couple of months later you're trying to brush the hair and it's just not like going with the flow, like it's fake hair. That's what her hair looks like. That when the baby doll's hair just gets all matted, that's the vibe she's pulling off there.
Yeah, look, it does look like something from Dee Dee's closet, to be honest.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, she didn't put much
I'll
thought
bet you
into
any
that.
money. I'm gonna send that. I'm gonna send that to my mum and say, "Mum, look at this chick. She just wore this." Mum would be like, Did you raid my closet from 1980?" My mum would be like,
Right?
"What is that?"
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's no way you bought that. Like, you picked that up off of like, I don't know.
Barney.com.
Did Kim K like her look? Kim K wouldn't be caught dead liking that post. It was so ugly.
Kim K wouldn't
Kim
approve
K
that.
was smart. She'd be like, "Let me give you a little fashion advice. Get a freaking fashion assistant." She puts more into her TikTok videos than she does into looking, being somebody in real life.
Apparently,
Again,
because
she's
her
so
video.
fake. She doesn't know how to be real life. You know what I mean? Like, again, real life doesn't have filters. It doesn't have and that's the problem.
I was watching one of her friends say that apparently because her videos aren't 1 minute in length, she's not getting paid for some of them.
You can't get paid if they're not a minute. You can't get paid if they have music that can be that copyrighted music. Like, you can't have that.
So she didn't realize. So there's very few videos there that she's not getting paid for at all with like 24 million views. Sucks to be you, Gypsy.
No, the only thing she was making bank on was her lives. And we all know how that went. So there's that.
Yeah, I know. It cost 130. Conspiracy Tea told us. How funny. It's so embarrassing.
There's no way that you're paying a PR team. What is the PR team doing for her? Turning off her comments? Deleting negative comments? Because what are you doing?
And also, she's paying for bots to tell her that she's how pretty she is and all that. What the fuck?
Well, we know that. She admitted to an app telling her that she's a 6, so there's that. They're just taking her paycheck.
No, it was worth 138, not $1.38. It looks like
trying to
$1.38.
look like, Monica Lewinsky. I can't. Was she trying to look like that? Was that the look you were trying to bring back or something? Were you trying to make a fashion statement like, let me see if I can pull this off and everybody would follow me? Because that was an epic fail. But I would go with that story because at least that one makes a little bit of sense and we can feel and pity you and just be like, oh, you tried, like you were trying to make a statement, but what the fuck did that scream? That shouted fucking, like, I don't even, Barney. That shouted, like, wish I was a nun. Like.
When she was like waving to the crowd, it looked like that's something the Queen would wear or a president's wife. The way that she was like, "Hello, my people, hello," like what the fuck?
Now she's royalty. So she's a celebrity in royalty. All right there, princess. Sweet cheeks. You sit the fuck down.
Oh, next minute, is she going to go to Africa on parole and hug all the kids? Fuck off. Go away. Oh, my God.
And what were they talking about? Like, what was the like? I heard a couple of questions, but what was the theme? Like, what was it about, this little congregation of students? Like, what were they speaking on? What was the event
They were
about?
asking her about the Menendez brothers
that.
thing, and then they said, because there was a Netflix thing about them. What do you think about the one that came out about you? Then she started going on about it, and that's what it was about. And parole reform.
So it was for prison reform?
Prison reform, yeah. She came out telling us that the D was fire. What did she do for reform, for prison, apart from do one post about Amelia Bird?
So of all the prisoners in the world that have been reformed, they thought that Gypsy Rose was the best option? Or was that the only one they can afford? Because prison reform, what the fuck does she know about prison reform? For real? Like, what does she know about prison reform?
Your face says it all, it's...
She's an advocate for what? She said on Good Morning LA she's an advocate? For what? What are you advocating for? She totally believes. She did not, Mercy. Hold on, Mercy. She did not, hold on. I gotta go back to that thing. See, I can't read and do all this at the same time, guys. I lost you, Mercy. She stated that she believes in therapy for prisoners, that prisoners should get therapy. She did not say that out loud in front of people.
Did she really? Because she didn't do therapy in prison. Oh my God. She sat there.
So lucky that I live on the opposite coast, because had I had been on that coast, I would have showed up and been like, liar. They would have dragged me out. It would have been like some kind of political rally. They'd have hogtied me and dragged me out of that auditorium. I'm just saying.
All she did was sit there and eat Suboxone. She didn't even do
$20,000 for that one to go sit and talk about and speak about prison reform. Yes, and she's had extensive therapy. Who's had extensive therapy?
Hold on, she got paid $20,000 for that interview.
Baby. Listen to me. Just because we play therapist on TikTok doesn't mean this is actually therapy. You actually should go to somebody who's got a certificate. It looks something like this. It's like a piece of paper, and it says like, I graduated a school and I am actually a doctor and can diagnose somebody and speak to them and I am totally qualified. You can't sit there and scroll at Kim Kardashian on fucking TikTok and be like, I went to therapy today.
Ivory, she got paid $20,000 for that interview in that horrid dress.
Well, good. Maybe for the next interview, she could get herself a dress and afford one. So there's that. I just think it's absolutely absurd. What did I see? Now, again, I've been so busy today, I really haven't been on TikTok much, but I saw her, I think Nina posted it, where she, not the Menendez question, what was she talking about? One of her comments was when she was asked about the Menendez brothers, she was like, and then they asked her about the act, and she was like, you really can't go with these movies because they are incorrect. They show a lot of misinformation, and you really, people really need to dive into the actual facts of the case and really need to report on, and they need to like, dig into it to really know what happened. And all I could sit there and be like, so I was right. You're admitting I'm right. You're admitting I'm right. Like I started screaming at my screen because I'm like, yep, you know it. Because we have dug and look what we found. So yeah, you're absolutely right. People need to dig because the story you're putting out there isn't true. So people really, I completely agree with that. You really should dig. She didn't even go to
Gypsy herself said you should dig for your own information. Exactly right, Ivory. And we did dig and we found out that you're a liar.
And you're right. So I'd be careful telling people to dig their sweet cheeks. Just saying.
And I
Princess
don't, and I
Sweet
do
Cheeks.
want to know what I don't understand. Why is she like? I know that she didn't get paid for the act, but like the act is the reason why a lot of people believe her BS. So like, why are you trying to discredit it? Like, okay, you didn't get paid for it, but like the act is the reason why people like you.
Right.
The act is a huge reason why people like her.
Why people, yeah. Yeah. That's why people know who you are. You know, the younger generation, that's why they know who you are. Because we remember you, but they don't. And I think, yeah, I just think that's absolutely. Not only that, but I mean, why would
Yes,
you ask
Jessica.
her about the Menendez brothers? Like, what the fuck is she gonna say? No, they should spend life in prison. Like, what answer were you expecting? Talking
They
about the
asked
Menendez
her
brothers?
about the Netflix thing that came out about
Yeah,
them. How does that
yeah,
reflect on the act? And then that's when she says about the act. I'm thinking, Peach, the reason why people like you, exactly what Ivory said, is that they only saw you on the act, and they were like, "Oh my God, look what she went through, getting tied to the bed and all this other bullcrap." That's why they like you.
yeah, absolutely. And then you gotta like number one. I want to know how long did she have to study the answers to the questions she was asked? Because like you know what I mean. Like who answered those questions for her is what I want to know. Like who wrote your answers, baby? Because it wasn't you. So that's
Someone
one.
said she wasn't even born when that happened. When what happened?
The Menendez brothers? Yes, she
Yeah,
was.
but
Yes,
no.
wait. No, maybe she wasn't. Oh my God, I'm old, guys. What's happening to me?
The Menendez happened in 1989, so she wasn't born, but
In
they asked,
1990,
not
in 89.
1989,
Oh
it
no, what
happened.
was she? 92? Yeah. All right.
Yeah, but they asked her, didn't ask about the case, they asked her about the TV, the thing on Netflix. They asked her about that.
Yeah, I saw that. That was the one part I did say. I think I saw that on Nina's or something like that. It happened 35 years ago. Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm old enough to say I remember something 35 years ago. What is happening right now?
Well, I don't because I was two,
Shut
so.
up. Well, I wasn't that much older than you. I mean, I
It'd
just
be nice
remember.
to see her
I
tell me to shut up.
remember.
Oh my God. Oh my God, guys, help me. She's being mean.
I'm a big old meanie. No, I remember my family was like big into talking about this case. Now I was young, I was a kid. I wasn't old enough to have an input or anything. But I was almost two full hands. But like, so I was a little kid, but I remember it being such, they talked about it so much in my family. Like, my aunts would come over, and my sister's like 8 years older than me, so she was old enough to have an input at that point. And I remember them all sitting around the kitchen table, having their smokes and their coffee, and that's all they talked about were the Menendez brothers. Like, I remember that. And I remember, like, so I remember hearing my parents talking about theories and stuff like that, like back then. And I'm like, I've never heard of them before. And and these are memories that I have. And then all of a sudden I was watching that Menendez, like clips of it. And I'm like, oh my God, I've heard that before. Like I remember my parents and my aunts and like my family talking about that when I was younger. So it was kind of crazy. It was I mean, they talked about it forever. My family, it was a big deal.
It was a bigger deal than the second trial because they wanted to make them sound more guilty. Like they wanted, yeah, it was a bigger deal
I
then.
see, I mean, I've looked into it since then, but when I was a kid, I didn't like first trial, second trial, I don't know. But I just remember it was talked about a lot in my house. So, what am I drinking? Listen, I'm not sponsored, so I'm not telling. No, I'm just kidding. It's a Perrier. It's a sparkling water. It's a lime flavored sparkling water. Jip Jip's crime was more disturbing, in your opinion. You know what? That's a good. That's a great statement. I agree with you. How? What about you, Jackie?
Yeah. Are
You
we going
you
to get into another Menendez
no
debate?
no. I'm just asking you like which crime to you was more sadistic?
The more sadistic one was Gypsy's
That's
110%.
what I'm saying. Because I feel like, I granted the Menendez, like, whether you believe it or not, it was premeditated and, like, they did what they did and it was a horrible thing. But what makes Gypsy's case so much more sadistic and so much more like evil and so much more like is because of the amount of time and thought and energy and preparation and
Yes.
manipulation and
She was
all of the
2 years
the
deep
pieces
in
of the
that.
puzzle
They
that
were
she
one
could,
week.
yeah,
1 week they thought
agreed,
about it, and then it was the night, and then they did it. But they weren't
agreed.
practicing it for a week. They were like, look, if he does do this, we've got the guns there. That's different. But with
Hey, hey.
her, 2 years she manipulated a man into doing it. There's a huge difference between her and the Menendez.
And the amount of like evil thinking and evil thought process that had to go into the planning of it, and the fact that you brought in other victims, not just the one that was unalived, but Nicholas himself was a victim, like, you know what I mean? And so like the fact that you sat there and you like, and again, people are like, you know, she didn't, that was brilliant to me. I personally believe that that was planned out brilliantly. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she thought of things that I could never in a million years, like, right up. It was just all thought out and so well planned. Now, every plan
Also,
has a
her doing a
loophole.
Mother's Day post was absolutely disgusting, in my opinion. Her doing that Mother's Day thing, I was like, you make me sick.
I agree. I feel like, you know, I understand that you felt like maybe the public needed some kind of statement from you. But what I would have done personally is, number one, I probably would have let that first year go. I would not
Yeah.
have spoken on it. I would have thought about it on my own. And then the second year, I would have addressed it and maybe, like, you know, put up a post at my mother's, you know, gravesite, putting flowers down there, something like that, and talk about regret and remorse. And, you know, no matter what happened, well, you know, you're still my mother. And not just sit there and fake cry on a screen. And then, Mom, as she's sitting there talking to Christy, who, like, really, I think was the beginning of the downfall of your entire life between your
I
mother
think
and your
that
father and
her
everything else.
calling
Like,
Christy mum
mom,
is so
mom, like, did you
disrespectful.
guys see that post on my backup account where she was sitting
Mum,
at the restaurant
mum.
calling mom for Christy? And
And
it
the
was
way
like,
she says it.
it disturbs me so greatly that she completely puts her own mother aside and then adopts this, like, you can just replace the woman. You replacing your mother and you acting like your mother no longer exists. Well, she doesn't exist because of you, but acting like the woman never existed. You know what I mean? Just makes you look that much worse. It shows a lack of remorse, a lack of guilt, a lack of accountability. And then to sit there and talk about, you know, like, no, the baby's going to have a grandmother. It's going to be Christy. Like, really irked my nerve. And I'll tell you why. Like, my mother was not alive when I had children. My mother passed away when I was 18 years old. So my mother never met any of my children. And you know what I mean? My kids see pictures of her and still call her grandma. Like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody just replaced my mother because she wasn't there anymore. So my kids just didn't go and adopt, you know, a new. Now there are other people that, like, family members, like, or like close family, you know, friends that my kids will call a nana or something like that. But grandma is their grandma, whether she's still alive or not. And the fact that you're sitting there trying to present to the public like she never existed,
Yeah.
absolutely, it does something to me. Like, it makes me angry. It makes me angry and full of emotion because I'm like, you unalived her, but it doesn't make her any less that child's grandmother. It doesn't make her any less your mother. Now, again, what people say that she did may have been horrible if you believe the story, but everything she did or did not do was for you, Gypsy. And again, like, bad things happen to people, but ultimately that was your mother and that was the reason you're in this world in the first place. So just a little bit of something. You're just trying to wipe it away like she never existed. You're never getting rid of the fact that you unalived her. So I think personally that that's her projecting that she's just trying to act like the whole unaliving didn't happen. And if I get rid of Dee Dee, I can get rid of the whole story. No, you definitely have not seeked therapy because then they would tell you actually got to go into that head on and you have to acknowledge it and admit it. Because acting like it didn't happen, no. And the public is getting pissed because we have, you know, if you want to be a public figure and you want to be this somebody who addresses the public and, like, you know, this status, then you need to give us what we want. And what we want is some kind of acknowledgement from you. Yes, I am in fact a murderer. Yes, I did in fact do it. Yes, I am a horrible person because what I did was wrong. You need to address it to the public or we're going to take you as a piece of shit. And that's what she's getting upset at, in my opinion. Sorry.
Her only followers, no, don't be sorry. Her only like followers and people that adore her are either bots that she pays for or young people. Like it's the older people.
Who saw a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Young people who saw a movie. Like, do I go and, you know what I mean, idolize everyone I've seen a movie about? Like, come on. It's just, and again, there's this like fanatization, like there's some kind of like fantasy, like you said, like when you're drawn to the bad guy, like the Wade Wilsons of the world, and like the, you know, there's just this like weird, like, because there's no understanding it because you have a normal mind, so you become a little bit attracted to it. You know what I mean? It's intriguing to you. That's what the problem is that she's not normal. Everybody, you know what I mean? And it's like almost there's an intrigue there that people just can't get away from the fact that she did what she did.
There's something else about TikTok that intrigues TikTok about her, and it's like, I don't want to sound mean to her looks or anything like that, but she does have a very different look, and TikTok people are not attracted, but it's like, whoa, look at that, like the look of her, and it's the sound she makes. But it's a sound she makes with her mouth, okay, as well, because have you seen those TikToks where they like those weird noises and shit? She makes weird noises when she drinks, and it's not to offend the way that she can't help certain things or whatever, but that's a big thing on TikTok, those weird mouth noises and all that shit she does. Yes.
Let me tell you, like, you want to make money on TikTok, Gypsy? Sit there and go into a freaking microphone. Just start slobbering all over it, because I don't know what it is about that running water sound, but people love it. Like she does. She needs to be like right into the microphone. There you go.
Like if she just did ASMR and
now you said look like looking at a train wreck. You can't help but look at the train wreck. Absolutely. Like, you know what I mean? It really is. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody wants to see that horrible stuff, but we look and peek anyway. And that's exactly that's what Gypsy Rose is. We're going to look at the train wreck anywhere. We're going to go and peek where we shouldn't be. You know what I mean? Like, and I again, like, I can't. She read
it's
her
the
book.
lip smacking as well, like the lip smacking and the, you know, and it's not just me just bullying her. Like if anybody thinks that, it's more like it's annoying and like whatever, but it's also like people love that fucking noise, especially on TikTok. They love that. They love that noise.
I'm not gonna lie. I am one of those. Like, there's this one chick on here, and I can't think of her name. And she was, when you were screwing up my FYP and my algorithm, she showed up. And I'm not gonna lie, I was sitting there tired one day, and I was just sitting outside, like scrolling. I was having a cigarette or whatever, and like she came on, and like I was so tired and relaxed, I guess, at that moment, that noise, I was like literally falling asleep in the chair, and I'm like, oh my god, like I get where people like just want to sit and listen to people salivate all over the microphone, like it was just weird, and I'm like, what's happening?
What are they
to me?
called? Those
I'm listening to someone.
Every time I see a hamster, I just see her eyes running at me, and it scares me. Like that little hamster that runs at the front. I'm like, that looks like Gypsy.
I can't. I was stuck on hamster talk, guys. My algorithm is all screwed up now. It's all screwed up. It keeps sending me Lieutenant Dan's people in sailboats, and it's sending me hamsters running in wheels. So, yeah. So when I'm sitting there screaming for help in my messages, it's because I can't get the hell out of wherever I am in TikTok. So, yeah. But, so this book. She read her own book. Why would any marketing, like who thought that was good marketing?
I don't know, but someone in the chat, I can't remember who it was, and it was the last time we went live, said that they got a free token. Oh no, it was on Morbids. Someone said they got a free token to buy it and then to get it, and then they're just gonna send it to everybody, so none of us have to buy it.
Yeah, someone's already gonna give me a copy because they know I don't buy it, and well, you guys know what I'll do with that copy. You're welcome. I mean, I wouldn't do anything illegal, but yeah, we'll read it, guys, for free. So there's that. So yeah, but I can't believe they let her read it. Jackie, I think the yeah, see, I'm tired, guys. It's been a day. I think the only person that can read their own book and get away with it, in my opinion, is you. You're the only one who can narrate their own book, and I would listen.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me then, because you're dead set looking at me. Me?
You're the only person who could get away with narrating their own book.
Why?
Because you just have those voices that you're drawn to. You know what I mean? Like you just, and even without an accent, I think there's something about the pitch and tone of your voice that is it gets your attention, but it's still soothing. I can't explain it. Like you have a very.
Could you imagine if I was to read
relaxed voice? Like I don't even know what to like. But you guys know what I'm saying?
Imagine if I was to read her book out, I'd be like, I was just sitting there and I didn't do anything wrong, and then it's all about me. But have you also noticed lately that her accent is like full blown that French Cajun thing, that Cajun? Like she was talking like Christy the other day, and she was like a crawfish and all this shit. And I'm thinking, where's your baby voice gone?
Wait, Jackie, what'd she say?
Crawfish. Look, I tried to change the accent, but I can't.
I love that. But yeah, she picks up accents again, like she mirrors people's personalities and stuff like that. Like she becomes anybody she's around. It's weird. You know what I mean? Like you just become anybody. Someone just said sea roaches. Yes. But yeah, she just picks it up, and like she doesn't have an accent. She doesn't have anything. She just picks up other people's. It's weird. A chameleon, yeah.
You don't want to.
He does laugh like him. You know what I mean? And so it's like, I don't know. But again, I don't know who thought that was a good marketing like idea. Why would you let her, when her voice, when people can nonstop mock her voice all over the internet, people have done it in magazine articles, people have commented on her voice on television shows. Like your voice is like one of those big things that like irritate people about you. Why would you put an emphasis on that? Like I'm gonna go and narrate my own book now. Like what the fuck?
Did you see her TikTok? When she was narrating it, she actually took a drink in between doing it. And I thought to myself, like, people are going to hear you take a sip of drink like a fucking hamster while you're reading the book. Are you serious?
They go back and they actually edit that out. They'll go and synthesize it and smooth it out, and they'll edit all that out.
So they're gonna edit out hamster drinking. Are you joking?
I've been able to choke on my water. But yeah, they will edit all that nonsense noise out. I mean, they're going to hear it and be like, that's all fucked up. And they're going to synthesize it so much that, like she's going to not sound like her anymore if they're smart. You know what I mean? They can totally change the voice to like some Dolly Parton voice or something. I don't know. But,
I reckon they're going to amp her voice up because she doesn't even talk like, like Gypsy anymore. Like she just talks different now. Like she doesn't even have that high pitched.
No, you know what I mean? And so that goes to show you how much that was an act though. Because your voice usually always sounds the same. Your voice doesn't change. Your voice is your voice. You know what I mean? Like I never sounded like this. Like I can't even do that. I've always had a deep raspy voice. That's just who I am. Even as a kid, I had a deep raspy voice.
Can you do your best Gypsy voice for us? I want to hear your best Gypsy voice.
I can't because I can't get that high. Like I have a very low voice, and so I can't get that high pitch.
Come on, Ivory, just do it. You can do it, Ivory. Let's go, Ivory.
I can't because my voice just doesn't do that. But again, it's like, you know what I mean? Like you don't go from all the way up here to, a normal voice overnight. Like you just lost your voice. You lost you lost your mind is what you lost.
Yeah, they're telling you to just try Just try a little bit of high pitch.
I don't have so I have a problem with my throat where it's too thin. So I can't, like, my vocal cords were affected. I can't get that high. Like, I can't screech. This is the best I can do.
There
Like,
it is. There it is.
you know what I mean? Like,
Ivory, do you want to have royal mashed potatoes with me at Disneyland?
she can't keep, and her voice.
Ivory, don't
Her
laugh
voice
at me.
is
I
in her
don't
lies.
identify as a schmurderer, okay, Ivory? I don't identify as that. Stop
know.
picking on me.
Her voice is one of her lies. Like, everything about her is a lie. You know what I mean? For real. Everything about her is a lie. Like, you can't even. And I think a lot of the intrigue with her when she got out was people wanted to see her change her looks. They knew she was going to do that. I knew the second she got out, she was going to, like, change her appearance. And so I think that is a big thing on what is she going to do next. You know what I mean? Like, the lip injections, the nose, the hair, like the massive filters that changes the shape of your face. Like, why do you do that? You know what I mean? But, like, people wanted to come out and be like, oh, she went from this to this. The problem is people are like, she went from this, which was actually pretty decent, to this, which is fucking fake and ugly.
Nikki said you should watch her Fox 11 interview. What's that? What's the Fox 11 interview?
Was that the one in L.A.?
I don't know.
We can watch it. Hold on.
But,
Let me see if I can look up. While I'm looking it up, guys, let's get our likes up. I'm only at 36,000. Could we get at least, well, I'm going to try and get it. My goal tonight is at least 100, 150, just so I can push it out there because my algorithm is all screwed up. Why, Jackie?
Oh, I don't know, because I threw you on hamster talk because you deserved it.
Why am I wearing sunglasses at night? I just noticed that. I never took my sunglasses off. Let me see.
It's on YouTube. She has done the most on parole than I've ever seen a parolee do. Just legit. Like, I've never seen a parolee.
Direction of reform either.
Yeah, like she's just out gallivanting around doing whatever she wants.
You said it was Fox 11 News?
Yeah. Christy Blanchard, I just seen you enter the chat. What's going on, Christy? Hi, Mom. Mom. I seen you. Mom. Come here, Mom. Jump in the box, Mom.
Entree, my eating habits.
I'm not going to show the video because I think it might get me slammed.
So everyone has this
but I'll
story.
Put the volume
Our
up.
next guest has one that is both horrifying and heartbreaking.
Can you guys hear that?
Gypsy Rose Blanchard went to prison after pleading guilty to second-degree murder, the murder of her mother. And throughout her childhood and beyond, Gypsy's mother would tell people her daughter suffered from a string of illnesses and disorders, going so far as to do things that included making her use a wheelchair, a feeding tube, get multiple unnecessary surgeries, and take medications she didn't need. Years of physical, mental, and medical abuse led to Gypsy convincing a man she met online to kill her mother. She served 7 years of her 10-year sentence. She was released last December. Gypsy tells her story. She adds details that have never been heard before in her new memoir, My Time to Stand. And Gypsy joins us this morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You're pregnant, by the way, so congratulations.
Congratulations.
She went lumberjack.
Good girl, yes.
Is she losing her hair? What's happening with that fucking hair?
But we have a lot of options.
It's interesting, right? When you are in the process of becoming a parent, you will find how that will change you as a person. And going through the experience you've gone through, how do you think you're prepared to step into that role?
Well, thankfully, I have a wonderful support system. I have a wonderful family and friends who support me through this journey. So I have lots of feedback from them and just a lot of support from them. So that helps me a lot.
And your story has been well documented.
She's breaking out. She's got that pregnancy acne going on.
Everything that happened. But what do you want people to know and take away from this memoir?
I really just want them to read this memoir and realize that it doesn't matter what you have been through in your life, there is a light at the end of the tunnel and that good things still could happen for you, regardless of the horrors that you may have experienced in your life.
Oh,
Because
$3 million net worth.
everyone relates to trauma in some form or fashion.
Well, for about 23 years of your life or so, it was basically, you could describe it as a nightmare, right?
Correct.
How were you able to move on or move forward? Do you think about the past?
She just
Did you
gave them
think
my next
about your
4 videos,
mother?
guys. Stay
I mean,
tuned.
of course. I'm in
I've got 4 different dicks to move forward, let's be real.
and I work through my past by going through that therapy. And it's going to be a long journey. It's nothing that I will be able to get over in one day. So it's going to be a lifelong healing process.
You got a new mom,
You
new
say you
grandma
wanna
for
be
your
an
kid. You
influence
got
for
over in
change.
10
Can you
minutes.
talk about that? What do you mean by that? And did that experience in prison highlight the fact that you want to be an influence for change?
Absolutely.
If I hear influence
feel
for
like
fucking change
there
one more
is
time, that's
a
all
lot
her
of
words.
positive change that could happen if given the ability. And
You're not given. We don't give you
I
the
think that
ability,
there is a lot of
bitch.
things in our justice system that needs to be addressed. So I am an advocate for prison reform. But also,
Oh, you little Kim K
for
wannabe.
abuse victims. I
Oh,
feel
you
like
are, huh?
I was in a situation where I didn't know
Sarah.
that there were resources to help children, and
But you knew there was
victims of abuse in
OnlyFans
my
and fucking men that you could undress
And so I
with
think
on
that
the internet,
needs to
but
be
you didn't know there were
advocated more,
resources.
those resources,
Oh, just checking.
And more knowledge and education about that.
Yeah, talk about that, because you say in and out of prison, your platform you're using right now to really spread the message that there needs to be change and there is hope.
She's
As
spreading
you
the
were
message
mentioning,
that
but
at
talk about
23
your time
weeks it's
in
actually an
prison
avocado and not
the
a fucking
learning
mango.
aspect you went through
What
in terms of
platform?
finding what resources were available
All
and
the time
learning
spread
a
her
lot for
legs.
yourself about what lies ahead.
Of course, I mean, there are resources that are within the prison system, but getting those resources are actually quite difficult. And so
They
I think
fucking
that there
handed it to
needs
you on the
be,
silver fucking platter. What are you talking about?
Very specific, because it is very difficult for incarcerated individuals to get the extent.
Let's play a game that just don't get incarcerated. How about that? There's
so there
that.
needs to be more advocacy on that.
You talked about something that you hadn't mentioned until recently, how you were actually addicted to
I can't see. I can't watch this.
That was something that many people didn't know. I was wondering, at the time that the murder of your mother happened, were you under the influence of the painkillers? Were you high?
What story are you gonna tell this time? Because it was yes and no. Which one are you gonna go with?
I was during that week.
Oh, now she was again.
Oh my god.
My mental state.
Oh, so now we're gonna play like I was totally fucked up on drugs. I didn't know what I was doing for 2
fascinating
years.
to me that for so many years,
None of you are calling this out. You educated women are gonna let her say
story,
this.
right? And I guess I have a hard time understanding.
Oh, I like you in the red. I like you. Who's
Because you
she?
did extensively. Those doctors were unable to see.
Ask
the
it,
truth
baby,
that
ask it.
You actually could walk. That
Ask it, baby. Ask it.
feeding tube. That you didn't need these drugs you were given. I mean, it's just baffling to me how.
Because it's a lie is why it's so baffling. Your mind can't wrap around
She doesn't need any
a
of this
false
stuff. This is
statement.
a
It's a
lie.
lie.
I know. The
look
level
at her
of
face.
discipline that my mother
Oh, you went
had
back
over
to
these
it.
doctors was so extensive and so severe that these doctors would ignore test results coming back normal and things like this, things that should have been red flags. And unfortunately, I was one of the individuals of many that fall through the cracks.
So, do you find those doctors in any way responsible for carrying on and allowing your mother, then, in a way,
Good
to carry on
answer,
this lie?
Miss Advocate.
You know, I kind of chalk that up to human error.
Oh,
I
you
think
chalk
that
it up to
would be
human
the
error. You
in
just
people.
accused them
So,
of letting you fall through
you
the
know,
cracks
I
and
struggle
saying that
with
they
that.
were doing this,
It is
but you're
something
gonna
that,
chalk it up to
yes,
human
I do
error.
feel
Where's your
like I should be held
advocacy
accountable
work
in ways.
for other kids who had it done to them then, if you were so concerned and they did this to you?
Misjudgment on their part.
What do you think? Do you think there needs to be reform in the medical healthcare system as well? And what?
Oh,
has
you
helped
do?
the most
Yeah, let's speak on
since
it.
Being out of prison, in terms of helping to
Someone find me. I want to
rehabilitate
find out who this chick is in the
Of course, I
red
think that there
because
should
she's
be,
getting an email from
more
me.
red tape within the medical system.
I will.
think
I will
that,
email her.
It should be.
Let me tell you
a
something,
requirement
sweet
for
cheeks. Who is she? I gotta
doctors
find out who she
to
is.
Take a certain course while going through medical school on Munchausen by
We do take courses on Munchausen by proxy, you asshole. It's called psychology. What 101, 102, 106, 121. We do it 50 million times. We are educated in Munchausen by proxy, which is why no one ever called and said you had it, because they knew you didn't.
All of this, we've been out of prison for 10 months.
Oh, 10 months I've been out of prison. I've never seen somebody so fucking proud of being in prison. I can't. It's getting hot in here.
Eventful 10 months.
I'm sure it has been eventful. You had 2 fucking husbands, a baby daddy, a pregnancy, fucking train tracks and dog leashes. I'm sure it was eventful.
Means of just being an average person, and hopefully can move on into being a voice for change.
Ivory's blood pressure's through the roof.
One more time. I'm gonna rip my own hair out.
You have a huge social media following, so I think
20% are bots, by the way. Chicken the red.
even if
So
you
there's
didn't
that.
have everything that you've had in your life, that's for sure. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate.
So the
you being
only
here,
thing
and
that
we
she
do
can
want
stress to
to know
people, and
that,
the
of course,
only
they can
thing
pick up
that
a
she
call.
can say that gives her anything to feel good about herself is the fact that she's got 10 million followers on TikTok. Like, that's all you can say about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, that is your, like, you know, the I'm so proud of me because you don't have it on any other platform. There's one. And 2, like 2 million of them are fake. So there's that too. But the only thing you could sit there is talk about is your platform, your TikTok. Like that's your pride and joy. Like that's your best accomplishment.
She paid for those bots, though. There's proof of it.
Like that really just irked my nerve because like, oh, well, I want to advocate and try and get medical professionals and while they're in medical school and to take a class on Munchausen by, bitch, you think we don't know? That's why no one's called it Munchausen by proxy. It's because we are educated on it and we didn't see it. And when I went back through your medical records, my ass didn't see it. And shit was drilled into my fucking head in nursing school. Like what? And then I went back got a bachelor's, got a master's. I went through that whole, like, don't tell me because I wrote papers on it. Like nobody fucking knows. So there's that. So don't tell me people aren't educated on it. They are absolutely educated on it. And that's why no one ever diagnosed your mother with it or brought it up to her. Except for one person in the 10 million doctors you said you saw. All right, so there's that. So, see, I can't watch this stuff online.
When you took your jacket off, I nearly peed my pants.
I just, it irritates my soul that where's your advocating for change? Where's your voice for change? You're advocating for abuse victim. Where the fuck are you doing this? Because the girl in red, like, listen, and I get that they got to pre-screen and know what you're going to talk about, but my ass would have called you out and been like, so what'd you do? Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that? Tell us a little bit more about how you're advocating and, please go into it. What can we do to help you? Would you like us to go to your website? Can we put that up here? Oh, wait, you don't have one. Oh, well, do you support any organizations? No, not on your platform that you're so bragging about. So there's that. Like, so what exactly are you doing? Would have been my question. What exactly are you doing to advocate?
One voice is heard and said she doesn't have to answer to you.
These doctors ruined my life, and they did all this to me. Gave me all these multiple unnecessary surgeries, and I'm just going to chalk it up to human error. The fuck? So if it happened to you, you're not concerned that it might be the same doctors might be doing it to somebody else? You're not going to advocate for those potential victims? I'm going to chalk it up to human error. Are you? Honey, I'm going to chalk up the fact that you're even here on this earth up to human error.
One voice is heard in the comment sections like she doesn't have to answer to you. Well, she has to answer to
I didn't ask her to answer to me.
Her people,
that's
like
one. You're right. She doesn't have to answer to anybody. But then, if you don't give answers to your following, then they have expectations of who they follow, and when you don't give that, the following goes bye-bye. So there's that.
She's not going to tell anyone where she does advocacy because crazies like you will be calling.
Oh, is that why she's keeping it on the DL? She'll tell us about her baby and where they're going for fucking family reunions, but she's going to keep that on the DL because I'm crazy. All right. That makes sense.
Ivory's actually a big one.
Hey, baby girl. Hey, sweet cheeks.
Ivory's actually a big one for telling people not to message the parole officer and
Yeah,
not to
although
message
I am
the.
going to email those people because I want to sit there and call you out though. Lynn, let me tell you something. If you're going to speak about information on the news, please make sure that you're giving true information. You know what I mean? Like you just said, a woman who's not here to defend herself had Munchausen by proxy, where she doesn't. So be very careful what you say. Not only that, like, you know, I get all these questions are like pre-written what they have to say and blah 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 because I know how the whole thing works. But at the
I
same
think Chrissy
point,
jumped out of her account and into that one because it's a bit sus that Chrissy just jumped in here.
you all
And
made
then now
your
that one's
ass
talking.
look crazy. You know what I mean? Like I could never interview somebody with that accurate information correct that was so wrong. Yeah.
I want to see you interview her. That'd be so funny.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I will be the first one to say, you know what, you're right. I'm totally wrong if she can get through an interview with me. She can't. She couldn't. I guarantee you there's no way. There's no way. There's no way.
I can't believe $7,500 a month she pays that PR team for her to look like the Queen of England and also the president's wife in one outfit, waving to people.
Sorry, full schedule, right? Yeah, she's got a couple of more universities, and I don't know. Let me tell you something. Because you see, people can sit there and spin words and sound intelligent and sound like they know what they're talking about. I actually am intelligent and know what I'm talking about. So she can't come at me. She can't. You know, because she acts intelligent. I, however, am intelligent. And a lot of us are intelligent. And so that's why she has nothing to say to people. That's why she has, Bree sitting there going for her. That's why she doesn't go for herself, because they can't. They can't. Christy, I would welcome Christy up too, because there's nothing she can say.
Do you think that hi Dave, do you think that it's
one
really
of those people who want to sound smart, so they use these really big words, but then they're using these really big words in the wrong context. So when you're actually just trying to sound intelligent, you're sounding stupid to people who know what those words mean. Now you sound smart to dumb people, but you sound dumb to smart people. So that's what I mean with her.
Do you think that it's really hypocritical of her to talk about prison reform? Not just that, but talk about that they deserve therapies in prison when she denied therapy the whole time and just sat there eating Suboxone?
That's what I'm saying. And then you sat there and 1 minute, no, I wasn't on drugs. There was nothing in your system, okay? You were not on drugs. Then you were on drugs. Then you weren't on drugs again. And you guys know, I will pull up the videos. You guys know I probably already have them on one of my pages because I call her out in the lies all the time. How do you sit there, one interview say, yes, I was on drugs. The other interview said no. You just said on national TV, oh yeah, for the weeks prior. Oh, so you were a drug addict only for 2 weeks prior to your mother's unaliving. So which one is it? So yeah, now you were, and now that is like, oh, see, because I was on drugs when I did it. No, you weren't. No, you weren't. Nope. Nope. And you just decided, you just decided to take these drugs 2 weeks prior to the murder. Meanwhile, you were planning it for 2 years, so what's the other 2-year excuse? What's the excuse for that? She trips herself up in her own lies, and I actually have a field day with it. She is my content. Every time she comes up here and does a fucking interview or says anything to anybody in public, I have got weeks of freaking content. Because you know how many lies she stated in there that I'm going to pull up and you'll see tomorrow. Because I will pull it up and I will disprove everything she just said because she herself has gone against it. And she herself has said the opposite. She contradicts herself. And I'm going to call her out every time.
Mama Toby said next she'll be trying to hook up with the Menendez brothers if they get out. And someone asked, what would I say if Gypsy ever came up on the panel? You guys don't want to know. I'd have to be muted because
You'd be muted. I have a little bit more restraint than Jackie does, I think. I'd probably give Jackie the 10-minute closing.
Yeah, because it'd be, were you led on a dog leash by Ken, number one? Then it would be...
You want to know that so bad. You want to ask her that question so bad.
I know.
That one is just something you can't get Oop, Ivory, not Gypsy. I agree, Ivory. Oh, you just called me. Blues girl, you just called me Gypsy? What's happening? I have zero restraint when it comes to that. I just literally forgot you guys were here and screamed at a freaking computer because I was so upset. So that's why I try to watch this stuff. And honestly,
Ivory would give me the last 10 minutes. That's about it. She wouldn't let me in either all the way through.
Yeah. And if you notice, like, everyone else is coming out with their videos because, like, this is new, hot off the press. But I need a couple of days to let it marinate because I really do get passionate and angry about it. And so that's why I never cover it when it just comes out, because it's like I need to simmer for a little bit, because I'll just come out and say some horrible stuff on my videos then. And so, you know, I try to stay respectable and professional, but sometimes it's, like, really hard. And so I need to simmer a little bit.
I do want to know if she was in that. You know how I've said it and people just go, but you know how, like, it's always bothered me. The bathroom with that bloody drink has always bothered me. With that Pepsi in the blue cup has always bothered me. Were you sitting back in the bathroom having a sip on it, like shaving your hooch while waiting for him to, you know?
That, yeah, I know. That used to irritate me. Dreamer said, I bet every nurse was yelling at the TV watching that. Absolutely every doctor, every nurse, every CNA, every X-ray tech, everybody who, you know what I mean, works in medical care was screaming at that television, because they all are. Most of them should be educated.
Someone sent you an email with the reporter's name so you can email them.
Yeah, that was Dana. I just said thank you to her. I got it. But I am. Because it takes 5 seconds to write an email, and you know what? You gave me your thoughts, now I'm going to give you mine, and I think that's, you know, it is what it is. I ain't looking for a return, anything. I just want to tell you what I think. I'm definitely one of those people. I'm going to let everyone know what I think, and so Lady in Red is going to know what I think. She thinks she's a medical professional. Who? Me? Well, I don't know. That thing called a license and that thing called insurance that I carry says I do. So there's that.
I think she might be talking about the chick in the interview, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, I thought she was talking about me, because I'm like, yeah, I kind of am.
Oh, she's talking about Gypsy.
She thinks she's a medical professional. She's a schmurder professional. Is the only professional thing that she's ever done. I don't even know about professional. She just, you know, was good at it. So there's that. That's a talent wasted.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
I can't. I get so wound up with that one. I can't.
Wound up? You were taking your shirt off. Your ears were going pink.
I know.
Your face went red.
I do. And that's where the term heated comes from, because I really do. My face gets hot. Like, I was sweating. I gotta turn off this freaking... Hold on. I gotta turn off this, because it's killing me here. Ooh, it's hot. It was chilly in here before, so I had the fireplace on, but yeah. So... Remember when she went on The View? First of all, listen, I don't like The View. I don't like any of them. I don't watch it. So I already didn't like those people. And then having Gypsy Rose on there, they got emails too. They got screamed at. I think I threw something at my television. No, I think I was watching it on my, like, little Alexa TV looking thing in the kitchen, and I tossed something at it because I was pissed.
Oh, my goodness.
I know, he better not come in here and shut the air off, because me and my husband fight over temperature. And, yeah. The View doesn't represent me as a woman. The View, I don't know. They're just a bunch of, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I think everyone can have an opinion on stuff, and there's a nice professional way to put it out there. I think everyone's allowed to have an opinion, and they don't allow anybody to have any opinion that is oppositional to theirs. And they want to sit there and shit talk because somebody does have an opposite opinion. And what makes this world so great is the fact that we don't all think the same. So they disgust me.
I noticed that Rosie O'Donnell came out for the Menendez, but she didn't come out for Gypsy, and I thought,
No. And again, I think people are hopping on this bandwagon because of Menudo, because of, like, the industry and the, you know what I mean? Like, the popularity or the, what's the word I'm looking for, back then. And so, and again, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, everyone is allowed to have an opinion. Like, I don't not like Rosie O'Donnell because her opinion's different than mine. You know what I mean? So it's and again, that goes right back to The View. Like, I just don't like the way they, you know, their lack of respect for people who don't think like them. Everybody should think one way, and it's not how the world works. And that's what makes it all great, is the fact that we don't think the same way.
No, Rosie has been, but what I mean,
Walters?
guys, is that I didn't see her come out for Gypsy, but she came out for the brothers.
Yeah, she has though.
Yeah.
Rosie O'Donnell's been, yeah, that I do know.
Yeah, she came out for the brothers. She went out against Diddy, but I didn't see her come out to help Gypsy at all.
No, a lot of people didn't speak on Gypsy when they came out because why? You know what I mean? Like, that was a big topic, a big case. It took Kim Kardashian 8 months and then a serious regret when she did. You know what I mean? So it's like a lot of people really didn't acknowledge her views on the Connors with Sarah Gilbert. Your views on the Connors with Sarah Gilbert. Yeah, no. Nope. No. I don't like The View at all. I don't like any of them. I think they all are just a bunch of shit talkers. I think
Yeah,
that,
Kim K unfollowed her on Insta.
yeah.
How embarrassing. I don't like Kim K either.
After she sat there though and shouted out, "Look, yeah, she likes my post," because remember I was on her show. Like, how embarrassing and attention whore was that? You know what I mean? Like, stop with the your need for attention is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, and again, everybody wants and needs attention. I get it. But
Kay went to Diddy party. She's a freak.
No shame, no pride or couth about yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you're so far up her ass, your tongue stuck in a rectum. Like, stop now.
Yeah. No one can tell me Kim K doesn't know what a Diddy party
I only
is.
follow her to see. I wouldn't. If you listen, just because you're here doesn't mean you can't follow Gypsy. If you like her content and you get something out of it, I mean, there's no judgment. Everyone's allowed to follow everybody. I don't. I've blocked them all since day one. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not going to tell you not to follow her if you follow her just because. No. I know a lot of people that follow her waiting for, like, that's how, waiting to send me crap.
I literally only want Diddy to survive for at least his trial or whatever, so he can tell on everybody else, and and then they can shove whatever they want up his whatever. But until then, I want him to survive just so he can rat everybody out. Like, that's why I want him to survive, just for a little bit. Then they can do whatever they want in there. I don't care.
Susan just said, I don't know why anybody who follows her would be in here, but I'm going to tell you, you want the complete, honest truth from me. I do go into other creators who are who think opposite of what I think to get their viewpoint, and that's why I allow people to come in here. Because again, you can't make a decision on what you think unless you hear both sides, and then it's not fair. Then you're just getting fed one-sided information, and you're not really getting all the facts to be able to make an intelligent decision. And everyone's entitled to an intelligent decision. You know what I mean? And so, you know what I mean? Absolutely. You can follow whoever you want. You should go check out the other people, other people's lives and other people's content. And really, that's how you that's how you can make a decision. I did. I went and checked everybody's stuff. I don't care what side you were on, and I still do, because you never know. If I learn something, that may change my mind and make me feel differently. Again, it's all about the truth, not necessarily about emotions and feelings. You know what I mean? So there's nothing saying that one day somebody couldn't come to me with some proof and say, look, hear what she did now. And I may be like, you know what? Maybe I really do believe her now. You know what I mean? Because again, it's all about, don't you want the truth? Like, we're all here and we want the truth. You know what I mean? And not necessarily just a bunch of crap talking. And so I'm always open to, you know what I mean? Looking at everybody's content, getting both sides. Because again,
you're on here, Anna. What do you mean? That's
where the truth lies. She must have said she just called here for somebody. Hey, Anna. Yeah, the bullying nonsense, we're just going to keep that out of it because, again, it's so dumb. I did not like high school the first time. I like middle school, but still, I don't want to go back there.
They're saying about the Diddy list, like, when the Diddy list when the Diddy list comes out, you guys do realize that the Epstein list, like, it'll match up with that. You guys do realize that, like, if the Diddy list, like, properly, like, you know, court appointed properly, not just TikTok people throwing it out there, those lists will match up with Epstein. Like, that's how bad it is.
Yeah. Same clients.
They're literally just big ass pimps. They're just multi-million-dollar pimps.
So, you know, what is your name? The Heathen just said that my husband is retired law enforcement officer and always said it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Absolutely. I agree with that statement 100%.
Oprah will be on it for sure. She's a
pro. Yeah. That's why Rihanna stopped doing music. I hear a creaky door opening.
I just wanted to let you know I'm home now. We got 3rd place.
Oh, congratulations. Oh. Congratulations, baby.
I got to accept the award with Lily and Trey because we were the only 3 people who stayed for awards.
Did you? Oh, that's cute. That's sweet. Good, I'm glad. Good for you, honey. My daughter got 3rd place in her color guard competition today. And so they have to sit through all of the schools doing it to accept the reward. So good for them. She was so nervous, like, that they weren't going to be good at all, and they keep getting up there in the top 3. So I'm super proud of her, and she's so excited. She's in high school, and she finally found something she loves. And so I'm so excited to see that for her. So, yeah. Yeah, it is. So yeah, and then my daughter won her soccer game today, so she's everyone's happy. And then my other daughter has got her gymnastics competition tomorrow. So because this one is being held at a local gym, it's the first one of the year. Only one person can go, and so I have to sit there for like 3 or 4 hours. So y'all, if I go live, just talk to me. Because my daughter only goes once on everything, like the bars and the beam and then I gotta sit through all these other people's kids, like massive amounts of kids going through it, and it's like, you can only see so many people do a cartwheel on a balance beam, and it becomes like,
yes, Debbie. Eminem song with Monster helped Rihanna. Yes, the monster under the bed was Diddy. That's what that song meant.
Yeah. You did gymnastics. I did gymnastics when I was younger too. Dance moms, let me tell you, it's a cult, guys. I am not that mom. I am not that mom. Well, I am that mom at the baseball game that goes a little nuts, and because, yeah. But at the girls stuff, it's like a cult. I just sit in the corner to myself. I don't even get involved in that nonsense. Because they're
when I dropped my son off at school, the mums are like, hey, so, and I'm like, I just look at them and I'm just like, I give them that look of like, do not speak to me, do not look at me, I am not with you, we don't hang out after school, we don't talk to each other, I ignore you, I pick up my kid, do not speak to me. I give them that look of do not speak to me. We are not friends. Hi, how are you? Yeah, good, thanks. Hey, did you hear about? No, I didn't.
Did you see Susie Lou got a new hair color? No.
And then they're like, they try and talk about other mums to me, and then I'm just like, I'm on the phone. Bye. Sorry, I'm on the phone. Sorry. No, I don't want to talk about other mums with you, bitch. Fuck off.
It got so bad for me that I literally begged my husband. I'm like, I will take one of your chores if you just go drop the kids off at school and don't make me see anybody. And so he does. He's like on his way because he's still in college. He went back to get another degree. And so on his way to school every morning, he drops the kids off for me because I'm like, please. I'll do anything. I'll go sit at 4-hour gymnastics classes. I will sit at 3-hour piano lessons. I will do it all. Anything you want of me. I will mop the floor, in my socks if you want me to. Like, please don't make me go drop those kids off in the school line. So, yeah, he does it for me. Because it is. They're like, it's a cult. Like, and again, my husband's military. So that's a whole cult, too. You got all those military spouse wives, like the whole military spouse, like, thing. Like, ever see, what was the name of that show? Army Wives? It's a fucking cult, guys. It's so much worse than that. It's not even funny. I never had a MILF spouse as a friend because I'm like, nope, I am not talking about how, Cindy's going to go cheat on, Bobby while he's over, on a 9-month deployment, and you're going to sit there and tell me I can't say anything, and I'm walking around with guilt and watching your kids while you're off screwing somebody. Nope, not me. Not me.
Someone said, Ivory, you need their shirt, and it says,
Oh, they are blues. Oh my God.
it says, I'm an antisocial, I'm antisocial. I'm not in your mum's club shirt to go to school to pick up the kids.
Yes, I really do need a shirt like that because that is me to a T. Like I sit quiet in gymnastics classes. I don't know nothing. I just answer emails from the company, and other moms are talking. And are you going here? And we're gonna do dinner after here. And I'm sitting there reading my book, watching my kid, minding my own business. They don't know my name. I don't know theirs. I don't care. I'm here to watch my kid. You know what I mean? Nope, not me. In fact, I pay extra money so I don't have to go and volunteer because when they're in like training and competitions and like they're really high up there, to raise money for for them to travel, they do like these volunteer hours. And if you don't do your volunteer hours as the parent, you have to pay. And I'm like, I'm looking at my husband and he's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting extra money because I'm paying. I'm not even volunteering with these moms. And I don't. Because I don't even want to know them. Because the way they talk about these little kids, oh, did you see, little Julia? She's like, she got chunky and, oh, her mom let her eat a donut. And I'm like, what? Or look at so-and-so. She thinks she's so much better than everybody else on the team. And I'm like, her mother's sitting right there. You're talking about how an 8-year-old girl is getting chunky as she's sitting here for 3 hours doing gymnastics class. Get out of here. She's got baby fat. She's a baby. But they're nuts. My daughter's 9. And, and it's nuts. It's nuts. It gets messy. And I just don't do messy. I sit in the back corner.
School pickup, I literally sit there with my sunglasses on in the car, and then I have the phone just there, like if they try and come up to me, and then they'll talk about like this person or that person or this and that, and I'm like, I'm on the phone, spy, like, no, or like if they say so, I'll be like, listen, I don't want to speak to you. I don't, like, I'll turn on them. I don't care, like, get away from me. I don't want to speak to you.
That's me. Anna Banana, I think it was, who just said that all of my dramas here on TikTok, I try to keep drama free of my life to the point where I have like 1 or 2 friends because, again, you want to call me up and be an actual person and not give me drama, then I love you. We're friends. But other than that, I don't want to sit and have a beer or go out and have some wine or go have a brunch and talk about other people's marriages breaking and failing and talking about who's cheating with who. Like, that's just not my thing. You know what I mean? Like, I wish good for people. Like, I don't want to sit there and discuss people's misery. And then, you know what I mean? And then I come to TikTok where I like to stay in my little world. And then when drama finds me on TikTok, I'm questioning, like, do I even want to be here? Because, again, I am so anti-drama, it's not even funny. You'll never find anybody I isolate myself to the point where I just like my peace. I prefer my peace and not drama. And keep my circle small. That's me. Mine is very small. Very, very tiny. In fact, it's not a circle, it's a dot. And I like it that way. So, yeah.
So there's that.
Right, so there's that. 6 is her level. 6. Yeah. Yeah. So...
I'm so antisocial when it comes to anything, especially like award ceremonies for schools or anything like that. They all want to sit next to each other and shit. I'll be like, look, I'll be in the trench coat in the back.
I'm the one standing in the back, yes. That is me. That is me. Yep, I'm not the PTA mom. I will send in you funds. That's why, I write my checks and I call it a day. I don't show up for meetings. I don't, I'm not the one. I don't even like to go chaperone for like field trips and stuff because nope. I don't go in and like with the class parties and just go chit chat with the teachers and the other parent. No, I don't do that. I'll send in my cupcakes and we'll call it a day. I will do my part, but I will do it alone because I don't want to be around people.
I brought in store-bought cupcakes for one of these things.
Yes, Marlisa.
And it was like a big thing, and like the mums that were on the thing that were like, oh well, I just stood there and I hand back. I said, good for you, okay, that you stayed up all night baking, all right. I'm like, good for you. And then like they were making cakes, cupcakes, all this shit, and then she's like, oh well, you brought the store bought ones, and I'm like, you think I'm gonna stand there all night doing that? No, the fuck I'm not. No, the kids are fine. Well, excuse me, but Tommy from Level D has allergies. I said, well, Tommy from Level D doesn't have to eat it, does he? Bitch, bye.
I'm telling you.
The gluten shit. Shut up.
And you know what's
know
funny?
what I mean?
When people meet me and I become friends with them, they usually tell me one of two things. You're so nice and you're so sweet, and you know what I mean? I just wanted to be your friend. Or, you know, I thought we were not going to be friends because you come off as very like, when I walk with a purpose. My husband laughs at me all the time. He's like, please don't wear high heels because you walk with a purpose. Like I walk like very just with a purpose. And so when people approach me, I'm very like, you guys know, you can see it in my face. And so oftentimes when I'm out in public, I'm like, please leave me the fuck alone. And so that's what my face is saying to everybody. And so people are like, you were so unapproachable. I never thought we'd end up friends because you're kind of intimidating and kind of scary. And you know what I mean? Yes, I hear that you're so intimidating all the time. And I'm like, well, good, because like if we were meant to be friends like we are, I mean, you got past that intimidation. That was a screening, honey, and you passed. So, you know what I mean? But I get like, you're really intimidating. And I'm like, I like it that way. So when people come up to me and they try so hard they want to be friends with me too. It's like, I don't know what it is about me. What about me shouts you want to be my friend? I don't know. But people are always like, oh, like I want to get to know you. Like, let's go. No. Nope. Nope. Like I have a resting bitch face. I don't know why you think that says that's shouting that I need a friend. But I don't want one. You know what I mean? Not you, who I just heard you talking about how you're screwing, you know, little Susie's, you know, dad behind his mother's back. Like, no.
Little Susie.
And then I heard that from little Lucy's mom, you know what I mean? And little Billy's dad, that you were doing that. You know what I mean? And you're saying that you're just friends and you would know. I don't, nope, not me. Nope. And my husband grunts at people. Like my husband is the sweetest guy, and like if you stop him and talk, he'll be respectful. But when he walks by, like at the schools or whatever, and people are like, you know, hey, so and so, how are you? Like they'll try and say hello to my husband, and my husband goes, and he just walks because he's like, I won't even give him a minute, because the dads are just as bad because it's a big military area. And my husband's like, I don't do that either. Like we ain't friends because we served in the same, you know what I mean? Because a lot of them are weird, and they get all like cliquey. It's crazy. Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And I'm still nice people, though, I promise. I'm no bullshit, is really what it is. I'm a true blue person. So you're either going to love me or hate me. You know?
If you get friends with these mums, then the next week they're going to fight with you over something stupid. And then you have to see that bitch every single day. And it's like, no, I'd rather sit in my car and no thanks.
No, you know what's going to happen is, again, I'm going to say something to somebody and it's never going to, I'm never going to forget it. I'm going to hear a story and I'm going to approach somebody and it's just going to, I'd rather not go there. Yeah. Clickiness everywhere. I hate clicks. I hated it in high school. I hate it in grammar school. I hated all of it. Yeah, I am honest. Unfortunately, I'm extremely honest to a fault. Where I assume that people want to hear honesty rather than bullshit. So and I don't mean to hurt people's feelings. Like I'm not that person. So that's why I really try and think about what I say. Because again, like I'm sorry it hurt your feelings, but do you want me to take care of your feelings? Or do you want me to be honest with you? Because sometimes it can't be both.
Like,
you know what I mean?
If
so I really need you to know who I
to
am and respect that. Yeah.
If someone comes up to me and says, oh my God, did you hear that like such and such is sleeping with such and such's dad? I'll be like, well, do I care? I don't know that person. But if they came up to me and said, hey, what do you think? Like, do you think that she'd ever know? I'll be like, listen, don't talk to me about your infidelity bullshit because I'm just going to tell you that you're disgusting. So get away from
I'll
me.
be the one that's like, oh, really, Susie, you're going to tell me that Lucy's screwing so-and-so? Because you know what? You don't want to tell me that because I sure will announce it to the entire world and to Lucy that you just told everybody. So there's that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Don't come up to me and give me nonsense.
I don't like women
You
that
didn't tell Lucy that her husband, like she's cheating on her husband. You didn't tell her husband.
Yeah.
I'm that person. Then I'll be like, don't tell me, because you know I'll go knock on the husband's door and be like, your wife's cheating on you. I don't play dirty. Don't do that. Don't. You know what I mean? Don't spread rumors because I'll address them. Nope.
Yeah. I don't like people who try and break up marriages and laugh about it. They're just disgusting.
Yeah, I agree. I hated when someone's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, first of all, if anybody ever came to me and said your husband's cheating on you, number one, I'd be like, I hope she's rich, man, because the bills are piling up. So there's that. But number two, I'd laugh because, you know what I mean? Like, I would just laugh. Not that he couldn't cheat on me, but me and him are both so non-bullshit that there would be no cheating. There would be like, hey, I just don't want to be with you anymore. I don't want to move on. And then they do, you know what I mean? Just move on. There is no like trying to keep two people. Like, and we both have like the same, you know what I mean? He knows that. Like, if I ever, for some reason, didn't want to be with you, I would just tell you and leave you. I'm not going to try and hide another man behind your back because why do I want to juggle two? If I didn't like you in the first place.
Oh, could you imagine trying to juggle two? Like, no.
No, I can, first of all, I love my husband, but, you know, one is enough for now. I mean, one is enough forever. But, you know what I mean? It's like, why would I want to, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm miserable with you and I don't want to be with you, I'm just going to leave you. Like, there's no need to cheat. If I'm not happy and you're not giving me what I need and I've addressed it with you, then I'm going to leave. And my husband knows I'm very much like that and I will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he knows that. So when and then, you know, we don't have the perfect marriage. Like, we sit and we have talks. I'm like, look, this needs to be addressed. You know, we are aware that we have different love languages and, you know what I mean, what I need and he needs. And we really make it really important in our head to still give that even 10 years into a relationship because, you know what I mean, everybody needs that. And I'm one of those people that, like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you know, I still get up, get dressed for my husband and put makeup on. I still try to look good because you want to keep them attracted. If I don't, that's my fault. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, no, I'm not trying to juggle two men. No, I'm just going to give the attention to the one I got already.
Can I just say that those photos that you put up, you in that dress, you look so pretty. I was like, Yellowstone's going to get some tonight. You look so pretty.
But, thank you. Thank you.
You looked adorable. I love them. I was like, oh, she looks so pretty.
Yeah, I'm not usually that kind of person. There's that. But yeah, I do actually get up and get dressed and look good from time to time. And you know what I mean? My whole thing was when people want to sit there and speak ill of people, and, you know, well, she's fat. You know, she has to admit she's fat. I so admit that I'm a big woman. And you know, it's like trying to tell people, like, people can call us big, but it doesn't make us not beautiful. I think I'm a very beautiful person. I really do. I'm very confident in who I am. And so, you know what I mean? Just because somebody calls us big or fat doesn't mean we're any less beautiful than anybody else. Because you know, the person who addressed me with that, you may think that you're skinny and that's fine, but now let's go toe to toe. Because I'd win. Because you're dirty and you're ugly shows on the outside. Your inside ugliness shows on the outside. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? That was my point of that. Is like, don't do that. Don't assume that because somebody is big or fat that they're not beautiful, because I've been big my entire life and I am gorgeous. I really do believe I'm pretty. You know what I mean? And I'm really confident like that. I will walk around. I have stretch marks. I have wrinkles. I have flab. My arms jiggle. Like, I am not sitting here pretending I'm something I'm not, but all of it makes it beautiful. So, you know what I mean? And people need to understand, just because you think it's a dig at people. Well, you calling me big. Yeah, I got an ass. I got you know what I mean? I got a chest. I got curves. I am womanly. There's a difference. And so, you know what I mean? Like that. I really want people to know that just because you're bigger doesn't make you not beautiful. We all have stuff wrong with us. You know what I mean? Imperfections. And that's what makes us different from everybody. And that's okay. You know, so when somebody's kind of addressed me like being fat was a bad thing, no, it's not. And let me show you. And that's why.
I just love that dress. I was like, damn, mama, what's doing?
Thank you. So, yeah, you're not going to get any more of those. That was a one-time deal. There's that. But that was just to prove
I
it.
just wanted to address how pretty you were, and then I knew the chat would back me up.
Thank you. Terry, weight should not get you down, honey. It should not. I have been big my entire life. And if you can even scroll back to here, because I think I ended up, I was doing TikTok shop for a while, and I ended up in a bikini. Never worn one actually in my life, but someone sent me one, and I told them I would do one on it. And you can see my stomach wrinkles. You can see my flab. You can see and I think I look damn good in it. Like I think it's all about your approach to it. People can see the confidence in you. You got to know you look beautiful regardless of what anybody, you know what I mean? What makes stretch marks ugly is that you're believing other people's comments that they're ugly. Mine are not ugly. Mine, they were created when I held a baby in my stomach. They're beautiful to me. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference, is that, you just got to address yourself. Like, weight is not what makes weight ugly. We're the only society that thinks skinny is the way it should be. There are other cultures where big is beautiful, where they would prefer big. There is nothing wrong with being big. My husband would rather me be big than be skinny mini. That's what attracts him to me, is that I am thicker. I am womanly. And the word fat is such a horrible word. There's thick, there's big, there's womanly, there's voluptuous, but fat is not a thing. We're all different sizes, and I don't care what size you are. It's really all about confidence. You know what I mean? It's really all about what makes stretch marks so bad. Because we're listening to other people judge us because of them. What makes them so bad? I rock mine. I got varicose veins like you wouldn't believe from my years of nursing. I don't give a crap. And I still look good and dressed, and I still don't wear stockings. And I still, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? I got a gap in my teeth. Everyone's like, why don't you get your teeth fixed? Fine. My teeth function perfectly fine. They chew my meat. You know what I mean? And I think it gives me a little bit of character. Like, Ivory Rose is the one with a little gap in her teeth. Who cares? I don't think that's ugly. It's just an imperfection. And that's what makes us different. That's what makes us beautiful.
Exactly right.
You know what I mean? So please do not think because you are a bigger woman that you are ugly, because there's no such thing. It is not a thing. A lot of ugliness just comes from how you portray yourself. Really. You know what I mean? So, right. Madonna never fixed hers either. She could have. But again, like, I'm sure she doesn't care that she's got a gap in her teeth. Like, none of us have perfectly straight teeth, perfectly white teeth. That's not a thing. You know what I mean? So, again, nothing, I have freckles, I have scars, like, you know what I mean? I have imperfections everywhere. I got jiggleness. I have, and I still will rock. I will own it. I will always own my truths. And that's part of my truth, is my imperfections physically. And that's okay. And when you own it, people really do respect you for it. Nobody can ever make me feel embarrassed or feel, ashamed of myself ever. I am one of those people that, like I said, I was on TikTok in a bikini. Trust me, and I don't usually wear bikinis because I just, you know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel comfortable in them. But I sure did. I'll go on a freaking screen in a bikini. What makes me any less beautiful than somebody who doesn't have stretch marks because of what we believe society expects? Well, no, that's not how it works. So you need to stop believing the negativity, because that's what's getting you there. If you stop believing their opinions and start believing your own, it's a whole different world, baby. I'm telling you. And that's, you know what I mean? That's where I come from. I believe what I believe. I'm not going to believe anybody else's nonsense. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that rant, but when somebody said that kind of hurt, you know what I mean? That bothered me, because don't. Stretch marks are a part of us. I've got scars. I've got, you know what I mean? Like, all of it. You know what I mean? So, like, I got, there's so much that could be wrong with us. Who cares? I got back rolls and fat rolls and, you know what I mean? All of it. I've got it all. I got tires and wheels and 18-wheelers running all. Who cares?
18-wheelers.
I'm telling you, like, I got the ugliest toes, so it's like, you know what I mean? Like, but they're not. They're beautiful to me. Like, I got one of those, they say the roll toes where your one toe is really long. I have that. And everyone's like, are you going to fix that? No, why? I don't care. If you don't like my toes, don't look at them. They look cute, nail polish on them, good. You know what I mean? So, and again, I have had C-sections, I have had surgeries, and I am the person who tucks her stomach into her pants in the morning, and I don't care. It is. Why don't you just get the extra skin taken away? I ain't gonna risk a surgery for what? To make myself look better for somebody else? I'm perfectly good. My husband's fine with it. We're all good. So own your truth. And sometimes your physical imperfections are your truths. And once you own it, nobody can take that from you. So, yeah. There's that,
Well, I just thought that you were beautiful. That's all I wanted to say in those things.
I appreciate it.
I just thought that your husband was very lucky that night. That's all I thought. First thing, I was like, she's so pretty.
Every night. No, I'm just kidding. So, yeah. Yes, I do. I actually get dressed up once in a while, and, I get dolled up every once in a while. I don't always walk around in a t-shirt, my hair in a mom bun, which thank God for mom buns, though. Can I just tell you? The fact that this is socially accepted to have my hair in a big knot on top of my head and I ain't got to do it. Love it. Hope that never goes out.
I love how you got the sunny, because it's daytime here, but it's nighttime there, isn't it?
You know who gets me for that? What the bug? All the time, because I forget, I have to have sunglasses outside because of my eyes are like, it just bothers my eyes. And so I can't drive with, even if it's not too sunny, I just don't like the bright. I'll get a headache, I'll get a migraine. And so I wear them everywhere. And so I always forget that they're on. And sometimes I'll be running out of the house and I'll have a pair on my head. Then I go and throw a pair of sunglasses on because I have sunglasses everywhere. And so everyone's like, why are you wearing 2 pairs of sunglasses? And what the bug caught me do it one day. I had them on my head and then put them on my face, a new pair. And she's like, what are you doing? Why are you rocking 2 pairs of sunglasses? I'm like, shut up. So I just forget they're there.
That's so funny.
The only time I don't wear sunglasses on if it's raining, sometimes I will in the rain too, though. If it's not going to be a full dreary day and that the sun might break through, I'll still have a pair with me. Yeah, it's something about my eyes. It gives me a headache.
Sunglasses is my excuse not to speak to people.
I missed that one, huh?
Oh, no, sunglasses is my excuse not to speak to people.
See, I like them, though, too, as an accessory. So I don't mind the fact that I have to wear them. The problem is my husband minds. Because I'm like, I love sunglasses. And so I'm like, my husband's like, you're paying that much money for a pair of sunglasses? And I'm like, but I want this pair. I have every other pair. And so he gets a little bit like, you know what I mean? Like, these are my favorite pair of sunglasses, though. Are these right here. For some reason, these are my favorite pair. Yeah.
Oh, you got up to 121,000. I just noticed.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. See, I don't have prescriptions, though.
Do you need glasses?
They are Tiffany's. Yeah, I've got
Because
a couple
you
of.
have migraines.
I do. I wear
Do you
glasses.
need? You do.
I do. I have a couple of pairs of Tiffany sunglasses. I love them. They stay so good and firm, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I have quite a few pairs from Tiffany's because I love them.
Because if you're getting migraines, you might need to. Have you got your eyes checked just to see?
So I get my eyes checked yearly. I have contacts in, like they're clear, but I do have, yeah. And so sometimes you'll see me in here with my glasses on because I give my eyes a break from the contacts, but I do wear glasses. So
I can't get a contact in my eye. I just can't do it. And then I can't get them out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. I don't have a problem with that. I can touch my eyeball. It doesn't bother me.
No.
It does nothing to me. It doesn't bother me. Because everyone's like, how do you do that? I can rub my eyeball and I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
No,
So
my eyes freak me out. I can't. I've got an S on my license. I can't legally drive without glasses on.
Yeah. See, that's another thing, my driving. I started wearing contacts because with nursing, if you're a nurse and you've done catheters on women and you wear glasses, you know my struggle. And it's a sterile field and, your glasses are falling off your face and you're trying to scream for somebody because you can't get your hands, unsterile, and you're like, you can't touch anything, and you're like, can you please put my glasses back on my head, and they're still falling because you're looking down and you're in there, and then they plop right in the middle of all this vag juice, and you're just like, come on, dude. You know what I mean? So it's like I started wearing contacts because as a nurse, they fall off everywhere no matter how good they were. So, yeah. Glasses and vag juice. I hope you all got that.
Glasses and vag juice. Then she takes a sip of her drink, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see her taking a sip of her drink and she's talking about vag juice? This is hilarious. Just like it sounds like a floppy coin purse.
It's exactly what it is, and you're trying to get the pennies out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not retire from nursing. I still have an active nursing license. So I left a job. I used to be the director of a nursing facility, a skilled facility. And then I now work for a regional company, the companies that own these facilities. And when they need me to go in and kind of get their buildings into tip-top shape, if the state's coming in or they got a state violation and they need me to come in and fix it, or their nurses need to be educated, or they got patient issues, or they don't have a director of nursing, I will go in and give them my time for a little bit and kind of get them into shape. And so I still do that every once in a while when the regional companies need me. But I don't work full-time as a nurse anymore. I took a break from it for a while. Yeah. And I might go back and get a part. I miss it. I miss bedside nursing, so I might go back to cardiac nursing and take some weekends there because I miss it though. What was my fave department to do nursing in? My two favorite nursing jobs that I've or like the departments that I've worked in, orthopedics. I absolutely loved it. It was physically demanding, but I loved it. So ortho and med surge, because med surge to me is like it's not really a specialty because you can't be prepared because it could be anything. You never know what you're gonna get, and you really need to know your stuff, and it's like really putting, it's the luck of the draw, and you really need to know a little bit about everything. You really need to be, in everything. And so med surge, I liked it because it was never the same patients every day. It was always something different. So those are my two favorite. Yeah, it's never a dull moment in med surge. ER, I liked the ER. I did trauma for quite some time, and then I got out of trauma. I liked trauma, and I was very good at trauma because I'm a quick thinker on my feet. My problem is there was just a lot of kids. The kids thing, pediatrics. There was a lot of peds came in that trauma, and it was just a lot for me mentally and emotionally something about kids. I know I can't work with kids. I'm well aware of it, and so I never did. So, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't do kids.
Hi, Spencer.
Hey guys, how are
Hello.
you?
Good, how are you?
Good, I'm just tired. It's been a long day.
I hear that. 20, someone just asked me how long I've been a nurse. 20-something years? 20-something years? 25, I think, 26. Yeah. Yeah, those are kids.
Did you have a question, Spencer, or are you just chilling?
Do you guys know if the university had got any backlash for letting Gypsy do her thing?
If I know this niche the way I think I do, they did not get away with that. I am sure that somebody somewhere, a bunch of people,
they better not have gotten away with it.
There's no way that anybody's letting them get away with that. So I firmly believe we're going to hear that in the coming days. That there was a big scene made. I mean, do you guys remember her whole The Red Banyan, when she even mentioned that, when we found out about that and what they did to that company. Yeah.
No, I didn't. I never heard about that.
Oh, they went after them. Yeah, they were leaving business comments, emails, like yeah, because people think it was they didn't like the fact that they worked with her. A lot of the other company, what was the other company too? They went after them, Couture, whatever, Kylie Couture, whoever it was. Yeah, with the comments.
Spencer, they're telling you to go to her Instagram and you'll see the negative thing.
Whose Instagram?
I think it's Gypsy's or
The ultrasound place cover. Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, that was all I had. I was just want.
No, you can stay here, Spencer.
Oh, okay.
You're fine.
Yeah, that's fine. The school's Instagram, I think. Yeah, I'm sure they went there. They always do. What was the comedian? Wasn't there a comedian, the one who called her a schmurderer or whatever?
Yeah, the hashtag my favorite murderer.
Did he shut off his comments?
I think he deleted the post.
Did he? Because they were mad. They were coming for him, boy. Anybody who says the words Gypsy Rose, that's it. They are coming hard. They will come hard.
Lindy said the university's Instagram post, they're coming for him on there.
I knew it. There was no doubt in my mind. Everyone's like, are you going to say something? Like, are you going to do? No, because I know the internet is going to come hard after them.
Because the first post I seen about it was someone saying that Gypsy was at their school and it didn't clarify that it was a university. And I was about to get really mad because, like, why would she be around minors?
Right, yeah, oh, yeah.
Because they didn't clarify that it was a university.
Did I see the chick signing autographs, guys? Did I see her signing autographs?
Also, when she was signing autographs, she spells her name with 2 E's at the end.
I saw that.
What is with that?
Ooh.
Gypsy.
She's spelling Gypsy with 2 E's.
Now?
Yeah. Her little autograph.
Like Kylie Couture,
the chick
does she
got
do
an
that too?
autograph off her.
Or does she just
Yeah,
not have
the
to
chick
spell
that
her
got
name
it-
because Mama never taught her?
I don't know, but I think it was deliberate. Like the chick that got an autograph off her, it was Gypsy Rose with 2 E's.
Yeah, I want to know why
That's
she
what's
did
wrong
that.
with society, though. What? Why would anybody? Who the hell is getting an autograph from Gypsy Rose? She's a fucking murderer, guys.
I don't
What
know.
is happening? Like, you won't go to I don't know. I don't even understand. I don't get it. I could never swoon over somebody who took the life of another.
Ivory's having a smoke. I thought I'd take. I guess it was sitting there.
Oh, yeah.
Andrew?
Is Andrew even there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry. Just
Hey,
listening.
what's up, Andrew?
How you doing, Ivory?
Good.
I was kind of shocked when the fact that she's at colleges and the fact that she was on the news. But here's what kills me. How is she supposed to advocate for anyone when she's not even honest? She was never a victim. And how is she saying that the doctors, they missed everything and all this, the red tape in the medical system? I work in the medical field, and you can't blame these doctors for procedures that were needed on her.
Well, she didn't. She sat there and chalked it up to human error. Which now, if doctors and nurses in a hospital medical system actually did perform surgeries on somebody unnecessarily, number one, wouldn't you be calling them the hell out because that makes them dangerous to other people as well?
Exactly.
And you wouldn't sit there and when they said, well, why don't you do anything about it, and just be like, well, I just chalked it up to human error. What? That's the most ridiculous thing. First of all, if you could sue, you'd be all over that lawsuit. You know it if it was valid. You can't. You have no
Absolutely.
proof. And that's how you know it's a lie, because if there was proof, there would be lawsuits everywhere. And you were a child, so, I don't even think there's a statute of limitations on that, number one. Number two, you sat there and you said it was human error, but you're an advocate for people who are victims. So now if you were actually a victim and know that these medical professionals did this to you,
Yep.
wrong and they were wrongly doing this to you and performing surgeries on you, you wouldn't call out the hospital system, you wouldn't call out the doctors, you wouldn't call out all of these
Yep.
doctors' offices and places. You would call them out and you would take them on so they're not hurting other children.
Exactly.
Because you're an advocate, right? That's what advocates do. They take them on head on and they call them out. I'm going to protect the weaker ones. I'm going to protect the victims. But no, you didn't do that. You chalked it up to human error. So all these doctors, multiple surgeries, and all of it was human error. Well, fuck that. Who the hell? I wouldn't go in with the flu.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of human error you're calling out with the medical field there. I'm just saying. And you're going to advocate for medical professionals to know. I don't know what you do in the medical field, but you're going to, you want to start a program where these doctors and nurses have to be educated on Munchausen by proxy. Now, again, I don't know what you do, but I know that when I went to school, I sat and had to write papers on it. I was tested on it. It was a big deal. It was a big deal in more than one class because it's a psychological disease, and then it covers other things. It went into peds because they're usually the victims, so it carried over into my peds rotation. Like, what are you talking about, sweetheart? Oh, she got me so mad, Andrew. You missed it. I was throwing stuff at the computer.
I'm an endoscopy tech, so, but I've worked in the medical field for years, and some of it is common sense if you think about it. Some of it's not. But it makes sense why no doctors were ever sued because they were all legitimate, and it didn't hit me till yesterday.
Yeah. And none of them were ever called out. And again, you keep speaking on how they did this to you, these doctors. The first thing I would have done when I got out was called everybody out and been like, you took my salivary glands unnecessarily, I'm suing you. I'm calling you out on national TV. You went on the news the other day talking about your platform. I would have used that 10 million people and been like, you know what they did? Let me tell you what these people did. But you never did that because you're not a real victim. It's all lies.
Right, because, if she did try to sue, then they would need her mother to kind of, agree with them. Possibly.
If she ever called out the medical system that she claims treated her unnecessarily, and she ever called them out, number one, that's a pack full of lawyers. They're going to say, we want the evidence. There would be none to give. She couldn't produce any.
Exactly.
She'd be shut down and embarrassed by the entire medical system. She can't do it. You want to call out a doctor personally? Go ahead. Because even their liability insurance is going to be like, I want to see the proof first before I even, you know what I mean? Like, they always settle. And before I settle, I want to see a proof, though. She has none.
Exactly.
So there's nothing. That's why she doesn't call them out. That's why she doesn't sue, because you need proof.
She's not like that one girl, that Maya girl.
Oh, my goodness. Oh,
that was a sad story.
Didn't the mother unalive herself?
Yes, that's where
I remember that story.
It's real sad.
That is so horrible, what they did to that girl and that mother. Oh, my goodness.
But here's the thing, Ivory, because you worked in the medical field. I don't know, but back in Katrina, that was like 2005, because I was 18. And she said, the mother, Dee Dee, she would always tell these different doctors that, medical records got lost. But nowadays, don't doctors just look in the computer? Like, everything travels, right?
Everything travels. And I don't remember what year. I don't know. Somebody in the chat remember what year we went electronic? That was a law. I don't remember when that was. But no doctor is going to take your word.
Exactly. That's what I said.
Why, when you're talking about, because I had to go through all these medical procedures, that's probably, it wasn't procedures, it was tests. And that's probably why they redid everything, was because no doctor or any medical professional is going to take you on your word. They're just not. You know what I mean? And so 2011 was when we were mandated, but a lot of the big systems, the big healthcare systems, and Mercy Children's Hospital is a big one. I'm sure that they were electronic, or these big hospitals were electronic way before the rest of the doctor's offices and everybody else was mandated to do it.
And Maya's mother was accused of Munchausen by proxy,
What?
Maya's mother.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And, I doubt she was never tested for it, but that was fucked up because her daughter was actually sick. So she was trying to find all these answers, and then the hospital just decided to, take her in and charge the parents with, like abuse or something like that. But it was close to it. Pissed me off, that story.
And again, that's where they cover their asses, though. Because you know what? If I can't find a diagnosis, and you're saying all this is happening, something's going on. And instead of actually looking to continue to look for this diagnosis, they assume that since we can't find anything, it has to be the mother doing it. But you see how inclined they are to go with the whole Munchausen's thing, though? They are trained to do that. And honestly, I could see in the beginning why they thought that. I can see why that was brought up. Now, why they ran with it, and because like they didn't want to be shot down and embarrassed because of what they did, they jumped the gun. And instead of looking more into it, they jumped the gun, they called it out, they took the kid away, and then they didn't want to be the ones, they didn't want to have to fall back on their word. Because again, big medical systems don't want to do that. It makes them look bad. And so they had to continue running with the story. But I get why they said Munchausen by proxy in the beginning. Like, I really do. Because they couldn't find a diagnosis, and they're like, what's happening? So again, that was on the tip of their head, and they're like, could it be? But then, you know what I mean? But then they just ran too far with it first. That's where they messed up. So it's not like people don't know that it exists and to look out for it. You know, one of the red flags is, well, we have nothing to explain the symptoms, and they keep coming in for the same symptoms, and it's always when they're around the parents.
Oh. But you know what? A lot of these people out there, like these news reporters that acted, clueless, they're watching probably, the documentaries, the act, Mommy, Dad, and Dearest, and that's how they're basing their opinion.
And that's all the same time is like, are we like, here's a case of it, like, let's run with it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That was a messed up situation. That was a messed up situation. And again, people are running with this. Munchausen by proxy is, or whatever it is, the fictitious disorder now. It is so hard to prove. And that's why they had that child taken away until they could prove it, which they ended up really not proving it. But that's the problem with it, is so hard to prove. And children actually, if they really think it, children do get taken away because it's a potential safety risk until they can prove otherwise.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
yeah. But see, here's the thing that I'm conflicted about, and I know that she needed a wheelchair, but that one doctor that stated, like, if she wasn't able to walk, her muscles in her legs would be like really nothing. But she could walk. But what did she need what did she need the wheelchair for? Because people say she needed it.
Are you talking about why did she actually need the wheelchair?
Yes.
Gypsy? So she did have muscle weakness.
Oh.
She did show signs. Her test came back showing signs of having muscle weakness.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Now, do I think that she actually needed that wheelchair? Maybe once in a while if she was going to go on big, long, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to be on your feet all day. But no, do I think it was an attention seeking from Gypsy? Yes. You know what I mean? And again, I had Bree one time say to me, but like, do kids really like to, no kid wants to be shoved in a wheelchair. Well, actually, people, there is a sickness. It's a psychological disorder where they like the attention of being the one in the wheelchair, being the one, having the surgical scar, being the one having the cast. Like I told, you know what I mean? I spoke about my daughter the one time wanting the cast because every other kid had one. You know what I mean? And faked breaking her arm. Like, they just want, it's the attention you get from it, and they want it. And that goes deep into a psychological disorder itself, the attention from being sick. And that's what I think Gypsy had. She liked the attention that people gave her for being in the wheelchair and not having hair and looking all sick. She loved it. And I think that's her one of the psychological disorders she has.
Wow.
So while I do think it was malingering that they did it for money and for, gifts and stuff like that, I also think that her psychological disorder played a part in it, and she did it because she personally liked the attention from it. And I think she was the one telling Dee Dee, I need the wheelchair. No, I think I still need my feeding tube. No, I got this wrong with me. And there's Dee Dee going off to doctors she's complaining of all this stuff. And I think it was actually Gypsy because she liked to be sick. She liked the attention from it.
Right. Well, like I said earlier, when she has the baby and Ken is living with her, I know that baby's gonna, wake up in the middle of the night, diaper change, need milk. And I could just see her making Ken do it and her saying, oh, I have no strength, or I'm having postpartum depression. And she's gonna play that off and just basically throw him under the bus till he can't take it.
I personally believe that she's got undiagnosed, untreated it's psychological disorder. Now, what they are, I'm not a doctor. I will not diagnose them. But I do believe she has them because I can see, you know what I mean? I can see them. I can see hints of them. And so the fact that I personally believe that she has these diagnoses, okay? And the fact that if it's psychological, a lot of these diagnoses or these illnesses tend to really peak in high stress situations, right? Now you got to remember, I don't think situations get any more stressful than her situation. You are you have a divorce coming, you're with another man, you're on television, people don't like you, you're having a baby, they're calling you out for that. Like, you moved locations, you're living with parents you never really had a relationship with. All of these things are high stress situations, or high stress triggers. And I think that once that baby comes, now you bring in exhaustion. You bring in, and again, not you, Andrew, but I'm sure there are mothers in here that know that after you have a baby, you're not really yourself. Like, you go through something and it takes a little bit to get yourself back. So it's like you don't really feel yourself. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's crazy.
So I think that that whole like lack of the exhaustion, the high stress situations, and again, anybody who's had a baby know if you're going to argue with a spouse, it's going to be around that newborn time when you're absolutely exhausted. You just can't do another feeding. Who's getting up? You know what I mean? That is a really high stress situation for any relationship. And that's why relationships need to be strong, is because you need to get each other through it. And I think that if she's going to snap, that's when she's going to snap. That's when her psychological disorders are going to show.
Yeah.
Because that's when she's not going to be able to control them, and that's where they're going to peak for her.
Right.
Now, do I think she's going to go out and murder somebody because of them? Not necessarily, but I do think she will snap. Because nobody under normal circumstances can take those. That's a hella of a lot of high stress situations. And then you take somebody who's psychologically impaired and you put them into these serious high stress situations and add an exhausted, crying baby, exhaustion. I think that if she's going to snap, that's when she will snap.
Kudos to you mothers out there, because it seems like you guys are the ones that, are really good at, being parents, and you guys are strong. But I heard that women can have what's called postpartum depression, but my sister said it's when you miss being pregnant. But why would a woman miss being pregnant? It sounds awful.
So it's funny you say that. Actually, I think, and again, I can't speak for everybody in here who's ever had a baby, but you do, everybody, I believe, and again, I worked in L&D I had to do rotations, and I worked there for a couple of months, didn't make it, I didn't like it, but everybody goes through that baby who's growing inside you, and it's kind of like it's protected. So it's like it's in there, the baby, and when the baby comes out and it's not in there anymore, I think every woman goes through a mourning period where it's like, well, now the baby's on the outside, I got to protect it. I can't protect it the same way. And it's like they kind of miss that bond that you have when it's inside of you. Oh. And so I think every woman goes through this mourning period of that baby not being inside anymore. I know with every single pregnancy I did, I went through this.
Is it a mental thing though?
I think it's more of just I think it's like a psychological, and it's not a disorder, it's not a sickness, it's just it's a grieving process, because you're changing the circumstance of having that baby inside of you. It's one with you. Wow. And you can protect it in a way nobody else can, because you control the situation to bringing it into an uncontrolled situation. And hormones plays a lot of it too. And you know what I mean? The whole thing. But then you go through this mourning period where it's like you're bringing it into a different situation. And it's like, I miss having that bond that, you know what I mean? Now I don't have that same bond with the baby. It's a really weird, it's hard to explain. But I think, and hormones absolutely plays a big part in it. How hormones are, I don't think people realize what hormones can actually do to your mind, to you physically. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, hormones, it's just an excuse, periods. No, it really does shape the way you think, the way you react. You physically changes you. So, but yeah, everybody goes through that, or I believe everybody goes through that. Everyone I know has gone through that. So, you know what I mean? But I think she's gonna, again, when the attention's not on her for being pregnant, like all of us women remember, like you got the extra piece of pie, you got your feet put up, oh, sit down, I'll sweep the floor, you're not gonna do that, you're pregnant, don't do that. We got treated a little bit like, you know what I mean? You got the little extra TLC when you were pregnant.
Yeah.
And then when the baby was born, everyone forgot who you were. And it was all
Yeah,
about
I don't have any kids. I'm already 37. I don't want any, but I have a cat and I'm like, holy crap, taking care of an animal is hard. What does a parent go through?
But I think a lot of it too is just like you can't help it. You know what I mean? Like, just a switch turns on. Like I was 18 when I had a baby and I was like, there's no way I can mother a kid. Like, what do I know about mothering a kid? You know what I mean? It was like, so I had so many concerns and like, what if I don't know this? And what if I don't know that? And I had this baby and all of a sudden, like I had magic powers. I just knew the answers to things I questioned beforehand. It was really weird. It's a really weird process. It's like, you just know.
Right.
I mean, like women just have the instinct thing kicks in. It's a really weird, it's amazing, honestly, to be honest with you. So.
Yeah.
But I think this pregnancy for her, the delivery, the postpartum period, and then someone said in the comments, postpartum psychosis, that is a real thing. Postpartum depression is not necessarily because the baby's not in you anymore. It's a chemical, it's a change in the chemicals in your brain. And a lot of people go through the depression where it's just the hormones, everything kicks in and you just, you know what I mean? You're depressed. It's, you know what I mean? And it happens. I did not suffer from postpartum depression ever. I did, however, have postpartum anxiety only. And it was horrible. Like I never slept. I always kept thinking the baby was going to stop breathing. Like I'd have my hand on the baby's chest and I'd wake up in a panic if I fell asleep. Like, is the baby breathing? Like why would I think the baby wasn't breathing? But it was like overwhelming to the point where like, if I left the baby with my husband, I would come back because I didn't believe him that the baby was sleeping fine and I needed to see it for myself. So I drive back from the store just to make sure that what he said was true. And I had no reason not to believe him. But it's like that it's an illness. You know what I mean? And so when you already have psychological issues and then you add more onto it and then you add in these stressors, I feel like personally that is just a bomb waiting to go off.
Can you imagine if she was pregnant with twins or triplets?
Oh my gosh. No, I don't know how anybody does that. That's, my goodness, no. Always terrified of SIDS. Yeah, that was a big thing for me.
SIDS?
SIDS, sudden infant death syndrome, where babies pass away and they really have no explanation. They don't even call it SIDS anymore, but yeah, it's where babies just pass away in their sleep and they don't know exactly what causes it.
Oh.
So yeah, you know what I mean? It's like all of that stuff. And I think that, and then you should be over your divorce at that point. So, and I feel like once the divorce ends for her is when Ryan's going to start talking. So I think it's going to get a little bit more stressful for her. Because that's when all of the truths, I think, are going to hit the fan when there's no lawyers involved anymore. And so the attention she's going to get for the divorce and the baby all at the same time, I really, I heard that her and I think I was watching Nina. Was it Nina who posted something about her and Ryan's relationship? I believe that. I absolutely believe it, that their relationship ain't going too well. And I've been saying that since the get-go as well. You know what I mean? And you're going to
now moved in with her. Even worse.
You know what? It's going to be worse because there's going to be more paranoia on her part. Are you cheating on me? What are you doing? What's your phone say? You could see that she's that kind of person. And, everyone's like, well, why do you think she would treat him like that? Their relationship is based off of a lie. Their entire relationship was formed around a lie. No truth, no trust, no honesty. Think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You were cheating on your husband with another man. You were lying to everybody about it. Infidelity, all of it. Your entire relationship started from all of that. How do you recover from that? How can you trust each other? And if you tell me you trust each other, that's a fucking plain out lie. Because, I trust you, but not you. You're going to cheat on him, but not me. So, of course, I think their relationship is going to be all kinds of messed up. Because, again, how do you go through a solid relationship? Relationships are hard enough when they start on good terms and grounds. And, relationships are not easy. They take work. But when you started off on, like you said, infidelity and lies and cheating scandals and prison, getting out of prison, like that is not healthy. That there's no way a relationship can survive that, in my opinion. Not a real one. You could fake it for the public, but I don't believe for 1 second that your relationship is actually healthy. Because it can't be. Because you can't have a real relationship based off of lies and infidelity. Whether or not you were the one cheated on or did the cheating, or, you were fathering a baby to a woman who's married to another man, like, I don't even know what to say. How is that, because we're soulmates. Yeah, but a relationship is never just about, oh, trust me, we're soulmates, we're fine. It's always work. I love my husband very much, but he irritates me too. And I get mad, and we don't always agree, and we have stressors in life, and it takes a lot of work to remind myself that I love this man, and that's the most important thing, and I trust him, and I will do, things with him and not against him, and that we're a team, and it takes work. Like me and my husband, we go to therapy every once in a while just to make sure that, you know what I mean? Like we go through a relationship therapy, not because we're on bad terms or anything, but just because we want to make sure that our relationship stays healthy. It means that much to us, but her idea of a relationship, it's not something that she respects. Vows and stuff like that, there's no respect for that. And so you're building a new relationship off the back of a lack of respect for your vows. Like that, there's no way that can survive an honest, true relationship. There's no way. Not in my opinion. Yeah, you can see that it's unhealthy. You can see, you know what I mean? And I don't see her being somebody who fights fair. I think it's absolutely normal for a husband and a wife to get on each other's nerves. Absolutely, especially the fact that both, like, our businesses are run from home, and my husband can sometimes go to school at home, and he'll take a day home. When we're around each other too much, he's like, all right, I'm headed out to the school now. I'm gonna go to the lab, because, you know what I mean? It's like you just need a break from each other. It's normal. Everybody fights and argues. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you before, like me and my husband, we have a great relationship. We fight. You know what I mean? I kind of like the fighting, but there's that. But you know what I mean? But it's like, and the whole, don't go to bed mad and it's perfect. No, that's not true either, because there are times where we've gotten into some things where it's like, no, I went to bed mad. But again, it's got to, your love for each other and respect for each other has got to be more important than anything else. And they don't have that. Gypsy and Ken do not have that. They can't have that. Because again, it's all based off of a lie, and that's a fact. That's not my opinion. That is not, your relationship is based off of lies and disrespect. And your relationship is based off of, you know what I mean? That is a fact. It's not something I'm making up. That is a fact. It was infidelity. It is a fact. Whether you liked it or not, you decided you want to get a divorce or not, it doesn't make it any different. You are pregnant by a man who is not your husband. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. Anybody can come at me any way you want, but at the end of the day, that is total fact. And that's how that relationship started.
And it's only going to hurt the child in the long run, because they have to deal with the fact that she unalived her mother.
Absolutely. And then you're going to end up separating, and already that baby's got enough on its shoulders. But you know what I mean? And then you're not, pregnancy is cute and everyone wants to have babies, but you got to make sure you're bringing a kid into a safe, normal, stable situation. You didn't care enough about that baby to think about its stability first, or put anybody before you. You were more worried about, oh, I just want a baby. I want to dress it up. I want to look good on camera. I need a third season. Instead of saying, you know what, maybe we should wait, because if I bring a baby in, I care enough. I want this baby to be brought into a stable home and a stable life, or as stable as I can make it as an unaliver. And instead, you didn't care enough about that baby. You acted, after everybody was telling you not to get pregnant, you acted selfishly. And so there's that as well.
Do you think when her and Ryan get a divorce, do you think he's automatically going to get half of, her money or whatever like that?
I don't know. It depends on if they fight for it. Like, it depends on if he fights for it. Do I think he would get it based off of infidelity? Yeah. If he wanted it, yeah. Do I think, again, what does she actually have to split in half? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He may not want to fight anything and not want to deal with it. You know what I mean? Like, some people just don't want to deal with it. Like, when me and my ex-husband, we're friends though. But when we got divorced, it was like, you know, you take that, you know what I mean? You keep you, I'll keep me. Like, there was no fighting over stuff and, you know, money and assets and that nonsense. So he may not want to, he just may want to get it over with. But if he did fight for it, I don't see a judge being like, no, you're not entitled to it. Because the only reason the marriage ends was because she cheated. And I know usually it's like, I know in my state, 10 years is when you're like really can have half of everything, like retirement and stuff like that. And they were only married for 3. So he may be eligible for half of what she accumulated in those 3 years. So that's what I would assume, that he is eligible to half of what they made as a married couple in those 3 years that they were married, or 2, or however long. So if he wants to fight it, that's what I think they'll give him, half of those 3 years.
I don't know if you know Ken's mom. Her name is Raina, and she was on Sir Morbid's panel a couple weeks ago. I was listening, and she said that Ken moved down there, meaning where Gypsy's at, when he found out she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's very telling.
It is. It really is. So yeah, I remember her saying that on his when she was up there. Do we know when he moved down there? I don't even know when he moved down there. But yeah, the fact that you moved down there when you found out she was pregnant. Where can I watch Morbid, guys? He's on YouTube. Sir Morbid X on YouTube. And all of his lives you can go back and replay all of his lives. And I would suggest you do that because they're pretty good.
It kind of feels like Ken just appeared down there with Gypsy.
Right? Like he just snuck on in, because I feel like they were talking in the show about, I don't want you guys to be pregnant, like don't get pregnant, blah, 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 blah. And then next episode, she's pregnant, but didn't he already live down there and move down there? Sir Morbid X.
He was visiting.
What'd you say? I'm sorry?
The show pinned it as he was visiting. I think. I don't know.
They may have, but wasn't he there that weekend for the pregnancy?
I think that was the
weekend when they're trying to say she didn't get pregnant until Jazz Fest weekend. It was that weekend. That's why he was there, right? I feel like he was already there, in my opinion.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
And again, if he actually moved down there because she was pregnant, then that means, in my opinion, she was pregnant before that episode aired. Or before they made that episode. She was already pregnant. And you could see it in the conversation. You could see her father making it a point. I want to make sure that the people know that I told her I didn't want her to get pregnant and that I was against it. Like, you could see that all play out. Like, I think they already knew she was pregnant, and then they just everyone wanted to make themselves look good. Like, yes, Dad, I know you told me don't get pregnant. This way, when she did get pregnant, people weren't like, well, Rod, why didn't you say anything? Oh, I did. Yeah, she was already pregnant, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense because it literally happens in like the end of that episode, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yep. So yeah. And that's what I believe happened.
It was also stated by a source on, I don't know, maybe Morbid's panel, that, or was it Katie Joy, that, Ken and Gypsy are having trust issues. And I think it's, everything that's going on from, allegations of him being with men, and maybe she's starting to see it now. And so I don't know what's going to happen.
I absolutely believe they're having trust issues, again, because their relationship is based off of lies. It started because of lies. 2, she's very jealous. I mean, you guys have to see that. She's jealous. She was jealous of Ryan. When Ryan was getting messages from women, she was flipping out, talking about we can look at each other's phone if we ever think that the other person is not being faithful or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, she's a very jealous individual. And I think that she wants to keep him around so bad that she's suffocating him. And of course, she's paranoid Because again, anybody who can cheat on their own husband and have a baby with another, if you can do that, you're going to think somebody else can do that because you're capable of it. And so she definitely thinks that he's capable of leaving her for another woman, even just because she's pregnant, because she did it to Ryan. So I feel like, yeah, I'm sure she has massive trust issues. And you could see it in that episode because I love him and he can leave me and that would be the worst thing. Like, she was already jealous. And so I think that, of course, there's always been trust issues there. Always. Your whole entire relationship is based off of a lie and dishonesty. So, hell yeah, your whole relationship is based on trust issues.
You know, I'm irritated with Dee Dee's family, you know, the Petrie family. It's why don't they go on the news station like how Gypsy was yesterday, the other day, and tell their story and say, this is what happened. Dee Dee did not have Munchausen by proxy syndrome. All of those surgeries or issues were correct. They were real. And, you know, she's tried to play the victim. She left, you know, she manipulated Nick and all this stuff. And that's how the public needs to be warned. But nobody stepped up to that.
Well, who was the, Dee Dee's sister was on here. Do you guys, what was her name?
Claudia?
Was it Claudia maybe who was on here? And she was talking about how Claude is he's older and he's sickly and is going to pass away soon. And they don't want to do anything while he's in the dying process. They want to kind of let him live his life. You know what I mean? Like, let him live his life out, not have to deal with this, and then they were going to do it after he passes, is what I took from that.
Okay.
They will bring it up after he passes, but while he's in the, you know, in the process, again, he's like up there in age and isn't doing too well. They would just want to leave him some peace at the end of his life, but that after he passes, they will address it. That's what she said.
And, you know, Rod is a liar, too. Remember when you were talking to him on here? By the way, you were great. I loved it. And how he said, Gypsy still has a story. And you're like, what story? And I guess he was kind of up in the air, not sure. But at the end of the live, he goes, you know, she regretted marrying Ryan. That's the story. You know, people want to see a lifetime, have to pay money for it. And he goes, so that's her story? That she's cheating?
Her story is that she doesn't have a story. Her story, he said, like when I was like, the story is nothing but a mess. It's all trash. Cheating on husbands and having babies with, you know, baby daddies when you're still married to somebody else. I'm like, it's trash. And he's like, yeah, well, that's what Lifetime wants to pay for. You know what I mean? So he admitted that her story is whatever they want to pay for. So Gypsy Rose's story is whatever people are willing to pay for. You saw that on that Fox 11 interview. You saw that at the college. It's what her story is, whatever you want it to be and whatever you're willing to pay for. It is not her story. It's whatever story you want me to tell. That's Gypsy Rose. You want to pay me 20 grand to come to the university and speak? Well, what do you want me to say? You want to sit there, you want me to come into your newsroom and you know, and you want to do an interview with me on your news show? That's fine. How much are you paying me and what do you want me to say? Because let's be real. You don't think for 1 second if those interviewers, if those newscasters thought for 1 second that she was actually doing advocacy work and that she was actually doing anything to help victims, they wouldn't sit there and say, well, what are you doing so we can help you promote it? They never did that because they knew that she was not an advocate. They knew that that's just what she was saying. It sounded good. It sounded good to an audience. But if she actually was an advocate and they thought she actually was, they would have said, well, what are you doing for your advocacy work? Well, we'll promote it. And you see them do that all the time. You can find the website here. You can find the, you know what I mean, so-and-so.org over here. Please go, you know what I mean, like donate if you want to, or if you want to sign up for. They do that all the time because they're trying to promote whatever that person is promoting. And that's usually like, you know, I'm an advocate, so do me a favor, I'll come on and I'll talk to you. You know, you'll pay me, but I want you to advocate. You know, I want you to promote me too. Well, she's got nothing to promote. They couldn't. That's why they never went into that question. She has nothing they can promote, and they know it. So here you are sitting there talking about, well, the doctors, it's human error, and I'm an advocate for, you know, people with Munchausen by proxy, and I'm an advocate for change, and I'm an advocate. My question as an interview would have been like, so what are you doing? Why don't you tell us more about that? We see that all the time. They didn't do it here. Why didn't they do it here? Because they knew that she wasn't an advocate. But again, the story sounds good to people who aren't willing to question it. All right, she's an advocate. That's great. That's nice. A lot of their viewers aren't like us. They know the movie, the act, and they're not going to question that. Those of us who know better, I'm going to question that. You're getting an email from me because I want to know why you let somebody go on there and lie. You knew it was wrong. You knew she was lying because if you really thought she was an advocate, you would have, went into that with her. So I don't know. There's that.
But then she talks about, there needs to be, more help in prison. And obviously there was, mental help. But someone said, and I heard from many people that she didn't get, she refused. She said there was nothing wrong with her. And I've seen many videos. It's this guy on YouTube called Mandoo, Mandoo, where he shows the Louisiana Parole Board and these people that have been in prison. And if they don't do certain classes or they don't seek mental help, they get denied parole. Makes no sense.
She said that she didn't qualify for therapy in prison is what she told Kim Kardashian. How do you not qualify for therapy? Because I think anybody who's in prison qualifies for therapy. Obviously, you acted outside of the norm to be in there in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, you either rob something, which is like outside of the norm of what the average person does, the social norm. You unalive somebody, you kidnap somebody, like all of these crimes are outside of the social norm. And so I think acting outside of a social norm automatically qualifies you for therapy. You're not there because you're, a person who acted on ethics and morals and all of it. Like, you obviously had something wrong with you. So for her to sit there and say that, and this prison is well known for their therapy and offering all these things, and for her to sit there and say, I didn't qualify, honey, you manipulated a man, you planned 2 years to unalive your mother, and she was gruesomely unalived. I can assure you, you qualified. Just on your crime alone, not even the story you were telling people you were trying to get moving. Now, why didn't she do therapy? Because a therapist would call her out on her lies. That's why. A therapist would question that. A therapist is trained to know when you may not be telling the truth. So she's not going to go be vulnerable with the therapist or fake vulnerable because they're going to call you out. You're going to get caught in a question you can't answer. So, I don't know. And again, to sit on national television and say prisons need to do better with therapy when you came from one of the prisons that had the best therapy, the best, programs, and you didn't even take it, and you're going to sit there and talk about prison reform and needing therapy in prisons and all that stuff. What? You're a fucking walking contradiction, man. I mean, it aggravates me. It's like nobody else notices she's spewing nonsense. I don't know. I'm just saying.
I'd rather listen to Skip talk about prison reform. Because, again,
genuine people. When she speaks about it, she's speaking genuinely. And she's speaking coming from a place where she understands it. She's lived it. She's all of it. So, of course, people tend to be drawn towards the people who are genuine in what they're speaking about. She speaks about it, you're drawn because she's coming from experiences. So absolutely please go to Skip if you're don't go to Gypsy for that nonsense. Because again, you know what I mean? When has anybody heard Gypsy speak on anything about prison reform? Ever. Kim Kardashian, that was it. That's where we learned that. And then you're going to run with it because you saw Skip was doing good with it. So you're like, let me be like, now you're trying to be a Skip. Like you can't keep your own personality. I'm just saying. Like, it makes no sense. You're trying to look good. But again, people are drawn to real. They're drawn to genuine. They're drawn to, I would have a lot more respect for her if she was like, you know what, I fucked up. I did. I was screwed up. I was sick in the head. I don't know what the hell was wrong with me. Yes, I need therapy. I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm going through this, and this to change who I am, to become a new person. And I need your help to become a new person. And you know what I mean? I acknowledge it. I am an unaliver. I am this. And it was wrong. It was wrong. And then you go and call out those medical professionals that you said unnecessarily harmed you, who taken an oath not to do no harm, and who actually harmed you and went against an oath that they had. You would call them out and you would protect other children from going through the same thing that you're saying that you did because you care about people. Now, I would have respect if she came out and did all that. But she didn't. She refuses to admit, she's in denial, refuses to admit who and what she is. She's not sorry. She's not remorseful. She doesn't advocate for anybody. You can't advocate for a fake story. And you know what I mean? So that's my take on it. Yeah. You know, and I think that she really has multiple psychological illnesses. Absolutely. There's no doubt. She shows them all the time. She shows her true colors all the time. And as long as she keeps spewing lies and bullshit and nonsense, I'm going to keep calling her out for it. So people could sit there and be like, are you obsessed? Are you obsessed? No, I don't like lies. So, yeah, I'll always show up to call them out. I'll always show up to be like, look, see, she's lying. Let me show you. Yep, sure will.
Even
And like I
Dr.
said,
Phil in her interview, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ivory.
no, what'd you say?
Even in that interview with Dr. Phil, I think it was 2018, 2017, he even stated, you know, that Didi has Munchausen by proxy. But I wonder if that was before he knew, like what we all know now, that it was bullshit.
I think that they think if they're doctors and they speak on something that people are all automatically going to take it as the truth. If it comes from Dr. Phil, he's a doctor, he must know what he's talking about. Well, no. You know what I mean? Who's going to call out Dr. Phil? Who's going to question him? Isn't he a doctor? You know what I mean?
hate Dr. Phil so much.
So do I. And I really think that everybody wanted that interview. Everybody wanted that interview. It was a hot interview. And again, you got to remember, she allows them, this is what we're allowed to talk about. This is what you're allowed to say. So do I really think he's acting as a doctor? No, he's acting as a TV personality who needs money and viewers and all of it. And so, yeah, he's going to go along with her nonsense because he wants the views for a show. Good shows, I get bonuses, I get another season.
Wow, I thought he was a real, like, psychologist, but now I can tell, you know, I never liked him. He's an a-hole. Like, just the look and how he talks to certain people. He's a douche.
I believe, no, I don't know this for fact, and I just looked it up really quick, so I really didn't check into it, but I do believe he has a degree in psychology. But I don't know that he actually practiced in it. I know he doesn't have a license anymore. But again, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think that he was ever in it actually practicing and had like a big career and like, yeah, as a psychologist or whatever.
Judge Judy also gets on my nerves.
I like Judge Judy just because her attitude. Like
some people she's really good with.
Yeah. But you can tell that she's, you know, what is she? What does she do? What is her background?
I don't know, but I think that is just for TV.
It is. Absolutely it is. It absolutely is. Because, yeah, that's nonsense. I just like her comebacks and her quirky sassiness and, you know, I like the feisty. But I don't respect what she says or like how she acts and judges and all that nonsense. I don't have any respect for that. I just like her attitude. Yeah, you know, she's fun. She's entertaining to watch. And again, there is nobody worrying about you know what I mean? You know, he took my, you know, car, he scratched my car. Like, there was none of that nonsense happening. It's all about for views and, you know what I mean? Like, they already know who's going to win. It's already pre-done. Like, yeah. So, your mom watches her? Yeah. I just like her because she's funny sometimes. She'll say some shit. But again, it's all about watching her for her personality because that's all she is a TV personality. Not a judge. She can't, you know what I mean? Like, you're not sitting there acting as a judge on television. You're not doing that.
I mean, aren't they doing a second season of her show? But I'm sure that when, ratings are down, you don't do another show. I can't imagine what her ratings were like.
I'm not gonna lie. I think that her ratings may have been okay. And I'm gonna tell you why. Number one, a lot of us were watching to see if she is who we think she is. I don't think people were watching her because they thought it was a great show. I think people started watching because they were curious and continued watching because it was our content. I think a lot of the people who watch her are creators. And those of us on this app who know about this stuff. Let's be real, we're all watching her because we're gonna call it out in our next video. We're gonna call it out on this or that, or we're gonna catch it. We're gonna watch the fall of her. We're all waiting for her to screw up and mess up and watch her messiness. It's like trashy TV. It's Honey Boo Boo shit. You know what I mean? Like, why did we really watch Honey Boo Boo? Was there anything to that? It was just trash. You know what I mean? And people did the same thing. Creators did the same thing with Honey Boo Boo. Called it out. And that's really, I think that's why her views might be okay, is the fact that there's a billion people watching her call her out. We're watching her mess to see what we can make content about. For real. I'm not even going to lie. And I'm not, Rod's right though, the shit sells. But again, what's more important? A paycheck and money, or getting your story out there that you swear is so important to you? You chose money. So then your story isn't as real as you say it is. It isn't your story. Your story is actually whatever people are willing to give you money for. Just so now your story becomes whatever people are willing to pay you for. And you want us to believe that your daughter didn't sat there and act sick because people were willing to pay for it. Again, that's the same truth that carries on to Gypsy when she was younger. She told a story that people were willing to pay for. Just like Daddy. Just saying. There's that. Gypsy Rose, before she offed her mother, sold a story that people were willing to pay for. And it seems to be the family thing. Yeah. I hear you. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all about what people are willing to give her and pay for it. And it doesn't matter what story she's telling, guys. The book, first of all, I could just imagine, because I read the last book, which was fucking painful. I'd rather read a freaking phone book. But I did read that crap. I took one for the team and read that crap. And honestly, the amount of lies and the over-exaggeration of these things, and don't tell me they weren't over-exaggerations, because they were the most asinine things I've ever heard in my life. But these over-exaggerations of these couple little stories you told, and the pictures with the scars and the warts, or what did she have, like birthmarks or whatever, moles or whatever the fuck she had to make it look like it was filling a page up, for real. It's whatever people pay for. And again, that shit didn't go anywhere. That was like fucking coloring books have done better on the market than that book. So there's that. But again, I'm curious to see what's in this book, just for the simple fact of, one, I'm gonna shoot it down because I show up to do that. But two, it's like, you know what I mean? What is your story? Someone give me a story. You got so many stories, there is no story. But I'm really curious as to what you put in here. Like, what else? You can't surprise us with anything because there's nothing left you haven't claimed to be the victim of. So, nothing. So, I mean, you can't give us any new info. You can only over-exaggerate on the info you've already given us. Because, again, you're already a victim of everything. So, the over-exaggerations, I'm sure, are going to be funny. And that's why I'm showing up for it. I'm not going to lie. For that and content, because I'm sure you guys will want to know what she has in that book, and I'm sure you guys aren't going to want to read it. So, I'll let you know.
I only follow her to feed you information to post about.
That I've said that to so many people. I only follow her. I'm like, first of all, it's okay if you follow her, number one. But number two, I believe it, because when I tell you, the second that chick has something drop on her page, can I tell you, before she even closes out the app, I've got it. You guys are really front and center with that, because I do not go onto her page. I do not watch her. I do block her. I don't go on there at all. I won't even give her the view. That's just me personally. But you guys do watch her for me because you guys show up all the time with screen recordings. It's so funny. Pictures, like, it's just amazing. Like 2 seconds. I'm like, it said 2 seconds, like 2 minutes ago she just posted this. You know what I mean? I got 45 versions of it within 40, you know, she only posted it an hour ago. You guys really show up hard. But I love it because, again, I won't even do content on her information if I have to go find it myself. I won't go on her page. So if you guys don't send it to me, I'll miss it.
And in the interview today at the university, she literally told us to dig deeper. She ain't gonna like what people find.
She said, don't watch the documentaries when asked about the Menendez brothers. You're gonna want to dig deep and really to get to the truth. Well, honey, baby, let me tell you something, sweet cheeks. Got there. We dug deep. The hole don't go no deeper. We got the truth exactly how you told us to find it. So there's that. Yep. So, you know, I guess we'll see. Would love to hear from Cats and Crochet. Is she in here? That's the woman with the Habitat for Humanity lady, right? I think I've seen her on Morbid. Yeah.
I saw Canceled in here.
Oh yeah, I saw Canceled in here. Hey, Canceled. I would love to hear from her too. Yeah, she built their house. Yeah, I watched her on Sir Morbid. Somebody's calling my Alexa.
It's Sammy.
Alexa, end. Sorry, guys. I seen someone saying her mother never went to jail. Whose mother? Put who up on the panel? Morbid was hilarious last night. My ribs hurt from laughing. I was in there, guys, for a few minutes. I was so busy and tired last night. Like, this weekend has been a little bit like the last few days have been crazy. But what was he doing on the panel last night? I didn't see all of it. I only saw bits and pieces. Usually I watch his whole show, but I couldn't last night. So I kind of missed his a little bit. You fell asleep early? Yeah. But you guys know he has his lives recorded, so you guys can go watch it if you got nothing to do after you watch mine. You know. Check your email.
The Northern Lights were in Michigan last night, or the night before, and I'm so disappointed I didn't get to get any pictures of them.
Pictures of what?
Northern Lights. They were in the southern part of Michigan, and they're usually never down the south.
Someone sent me a picture. A friend of mine sent me a picture of it, and they were absolutely gorgeous. And can I tell you, that's like one of those things on my bucket list. Is I've never seen them in person, and I want to so bad.
I was so mad that I missed it.
I want to see them so bad in person, like just to sit there on a blanket and watch them. I would be in heaven.
I got a picture of the burning bed property for you if you want to see what it looks like now.
Oh yeah, you can send that to me. Yeah, your bucket list. That's what I'm saying. I just want to lay in a field somewhere in the dark, in the quiet, and just watch the pretty sky, the lights in the sky. That is definitely something. And just be in my own peace, just be there, like just quiet, feeling my feelings and, feeling all the things and just looking at the beauty of like with nothing else interrupting. And that is absolutely something that's on my bucket list. You know what I mean? Absolutely. I love nature's beauty. I think it's like, you know what I mean? It's just so remarkable and we take advantage of it because, we always put it off for later. And so I'm one of those people, I love to enjoy stuff like that. Like I'll wake up my kids when we have meteor showers. I'll wake up my kids in the middle of the night. Even if they got school the next day, we get blankets, we go outside with some cocoa and we just watch the sky. And those are some of our best memories. Even if we didn't see anything, you know what I mean? Just to sit there peaceful in the dark. In nature. Oh wow. That's crazy.
When I walked on that property, I had to run off it. I felt so overwhelmed. It was crazy.
Did you feel it? Like sometimes you could feel
Yeah,
the eerie of
I
it.
could feel
Yeah.
it. It was crazy.
Yep. Sometimes you can feel the eerie of it. That's nuts. I'm one of those people. I've been to the hey Mama Bean. What house is it? The one from come on, the famous scary house, guys. What show is it? The one with those windows. What's the movie?
Amityville?
Amityville. Well, I don't know why I couldn't. Yeah, I've been to that house and I got the creeps from that house. I really did. And then the area, yeah, I got that gave me the creeps just knowing I was near that house, the actual house. Not the one in the movie, but the actual house. It was kind of creepy.
I want to go to Salem really bad.
I do too. I really do. And I probably could. I might just go there because it's fun there too though. But yeah, I want to go there. But I feel like that would give me creepy, weird vibes. Someone just said it was fake. Well, honestly, my thoughts of it being real was enough to give me messed up vibes, messed up, creepy feelings. So there's that. Oh, someone just said I'm near Salem. Let me know if you visit. I have roots back to the Charles. Absolutely, the Reckoning. Amityville is another. It absolutely is another mystery. You know what's another like unaliving mystery? Believe it or not, The Exorcist. Do you guys know the true story of that? That's
No,
actually
what happened?
So that was, and again, it's been a minute. I looked into this when I was a teenager. There was a big thing. But even though like that whole exorcism thing, and you know what I mean, was going down. There was quite a few like unalivings in the area, and a lot of unexplained things that were happening, like unalivings and stuff like that. And some, you know what I mean. Some people think that it had to do with the exorcism, but actually there was like a serial murder or something happening around that area around that time. It was a big thing, and they were trying to blame the exorcist, like it was actually a boy, not a girl. But they were trying to blame the boy and like saying that that's what was causing people to die, but there was actually somebody out there unaliving somebody. And the movie had several accidents while filming. That's true, it did. But yeah, like there was, if you look into like the thing, a whole lot of weird, creepy things were happening, but people were trying to blame it on the boy being like possessed, but in actuality, there was actually like unalivings happening, and there was a whole big case that people just brushed off because they thought it had to do with the possession. Yeah.
Didn't one of the actors, Joey King, in an interview say that she had a really rare blood disorder after filming?
Something happened to all of them. Who's the girl that played Reagan? What was her name?
I don't know.
Something happened to her. You know, guys, I know I didn't mean to say the R word. You guys got to remember, I grew up in the 80s when it was not like a normal thing to say, so it's not being said with any, it's just a pure habit that I didn't catch. And so, and you're right, it's not an excuse. It's just, I try very hard to not say it because I understand it does offend people, and I'm working on it. That's the best I can do for you guys. So I appreciate you calling me out on it. The Poltergeist movie, I don't know anything about that one. I did leave the app. I took a break from the app for a little bit, yes. Right. Someone said something about the Poltergeist house. I don't know too much about the Poltergeist. I was never into that movie. That wasn't my thing. But you know what, though? It's October. We should totally do one of those, like, creepy, weird, scary stories. Like, you know what I mean? Like the ones with all because I know The Exorcist was a big one, with the unaliving and the weird things that were happening and nobody can explain them. Like, I'm going to find a way to explain it. All right, here's my puzzle piece. So that's a pretty cool thing to look into just because we'll get into creepy season. Pretty sure Jip is in here. Let her be. It is what it is. Do the bleeding house. Why do I remember that? I don't remember it, but I'm faintly familiar with that.
Is the haunting of Hill House based on a true story?
I don't know. Oh, the Exorcist of Emily Rose. The first time I watched that movie, I was by myself at night in my living room. Everybody else was upstairs, and I'm like, oh, I can watch this movie. And that was probably so many years ago. I don't even know how many years ago it was. And I still get creeped out just thinking about that movie. Just really messed with my head.
The Babadook was my first horror movie, and I was like 10, and I did not sleep for a week. That movie was so scary.
Really?
At least when I first watched it.
Oh, I've never seen that one. It was creepy, but the ending made me feel better. Yeah, The Exorcist, I think, creeps me out a lot because, again, I was raised Catholic, and so that's a big, like, religious, like, you know what I mean? For me, like, just the way I was raised, it just, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of believe in, like, this, like, that it can happen just because that's how I was raised. And so that really creeped me out. What's the matter?
Just a minute for a second.
Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. I gotta meet this. Spencer, talk to them for me.
Jackie, you there? Hi guys, how are you?
Well, you did better than Jackie, who normally would be feeding the cat mice at this point. Thank you, Spencer.
It's like getting Jackie to come back and help me.
I'm sure she's probably sitting with her son, like eating dinner. I don't know what time it is by her, waking up or doing breakfast or something. But yeah, scary movies. I absolutely love to be scared. I love scary movies. October is my month. And so, yeah, I do like the whole haunting thing and like, getting creeped out and stuff like that. So I think that would be fun to like, pick one of those weird occurrences things to talk about because I like being creeped out. You're right. Your anniversary's the 31st, really? See, I was never the Michael Myers thing. Well, Halloween kind of creeped me out because again, he was a weirdo. But like Jason, the whole mask thing, that never did it for me. Freddy Krueger never did it for me. None of those ever did it for me. The Saw movies are freaking. I want to know who sleeps next to the person who wrote that freaking movie. Like, how the hell do you sleep next to somebody like that? Like, for real, that Saw, that's mindfuck shit. That's like, who thinks like that? That is seriously frightening because it's like, who the hell? I felt every single pain that those people felt. Like, it was like crazy. It was so messed up. I want to know who sleeps next to the person who wrote that. I want to know. Someone tell me.
I couldn't even imagine being in any of those scenarios. Those are all terrifying. Like, how would you end up in there?
Like, big time freaking terrifying. Like, I don't know what I would do. Like, we all want to sit there and be like, I don't know if I'm going in there and blowing my hand off. And like, you know what I mean? You're feeling it. That was a freaking messed up movie. That whole series was like all kinds of messed up. So that one was, my husband won't watch them because he's like, he can't handle gore and stuff like that. Like, and that messed with his head. He watched one and won't watch anymore. You've never seen Saw? Oh my goodness. It's like freaking nuts, dude. It's like psychological fuckness. For real.
Have you seen The Platform on Netflix?
The Platform. Why do I feel like I did see that?
It's a prison and it's like a bunch of different levels with like food and whatever. It's kind of confusing to describe. They just came out with the second one.
Did they? I did see the first one. Me and my husband watched it. Yeah, it really was confusing. I got it at the end. It took me a minute to think and talk about it, but that was a really messed up movie too. It was very good though. But I love those psychological, like really messed up, like movies like that. Like the psychological thrillers are my thing. So, oh, tomorrow's your birthday, Binks. Well, happy early birthday. But yeah, I love like the books I read too. Like I read psychological thrillers and stuff like that. So like, I love the way like I love to see how crazy people think. I think is what my thing is.
I love the mind games.
Yes. Yep. Yep. I do too. But one of my biggest fears is, and I don't know if it's because I must have watched a movie as a kid or read something or somewhere I got this, that, one of my biggest fears is that somebody can make me think that I'm crazy. And like people won't believe the truth from me because somebody has convinced somebody so much that I'm crazy. Like that's a fear that I have. I don't know what movie I watched when I was younger.
I feel like that is a movie concept, though. I don't know what movie it is, though.
I don't remember. I must have watched it when I was like in my early teens, like or preteens or whatever, and like the concept must have stuck with me because like one of the things that disturbs me so much is like one of my biggest things is you're crazy or somebody like you know what I mean, like making me think that I'm crazy or like convincing other people that I'm crazy and you're not going to believe my truth because you're believing their lie.
Wait, was it grandparents?
I honestly, I don't even remember. But the fact that somebody can take a normal person and make them like gaslighting, like really make them like seem nuts to everybody is like a frightening concept that people might not believe my truth because they're believing your lie is a fucked up, like, you know what I mean?
Using the theme of gaslighting is a really good idea for a horror movie.
Yes. Because again, that's like a whole like when you can like personally relate to things, I think it becomes more scary. Like I just said, the exorcism because that's the religion I was raised in, and so that's a big deal to us. And like in our minds, that can potentially happen. I think so. That's why it was affected me a little bit different from somebody who doesn't actually believe that can happen. You know what I mean? Your perception of things, I think. Really is what makes something so frightening or you know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, the gaslighting thing, like if you have an experience with somebody doing that to you, I think that would totally freak you out. And so you're going to take it like a lot more. Oh, I saw Shutter Island too. That was another one.
I haven't seen that one. What's that one about?
Was it the one? No, I don't think that was the one.
Are you thinking about Old?
I think it was a little bit older than that, but I saw Shutter Island though. That was a crazy movie. Start questioning everything. Yeah, it was good. Leonardo DiCaprio, I know. I was in love with him for the longest time.
I want to see the movie Old.
I don't know about that one. I don't think
it's where they get stuck on this island and it like makes them age really fast or something.
That's almost like that movie, Stephen King. Was that a Stephen King movie?
I think so. I don't know.
Cats and Crochet is backstage. The House for Humanities lady. What do you mean backstage? I don't have it backstage. You mean in the box? Like waiting for... Nope, she's not. Thinner. The movie from Stephen King is Thinner. Yes, I remember watching that. That one creeped me out. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so.
Oh, I was reading Stephen King at like 12 years old. That's probably why I've got like my head's all fucked up now and I'm into like these murder mysteries and thrillers and shit like that because that's what I was reading as a kid. I was a big reader and so little kids' books, like they weren't big enough for me. And so I always had to like look for bigger books and so I was always reading adult books, probably stuff I shouldn't have been reading. So, yeah. I read all of his books at like I was young when I read his books. And I really definitely should not have read them. But yeah, I like a lot of his stories. Some of them are alright, but I like a lot of his stories. Although like when I read more of like the drama, like the psychological thrillers, but not like Stephen King horror ones. Yeah. I don't know that one.
The Ring is one of my favorites.
What is Smile? So everyone keeps saying Smile.
It's about this like creature that if you look at it or something, it smiles and it possesses you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. I haven't seen the movie, but I just know that's what it's about.
Oh, yeah, see, I believe, like, I don't know. I believe in, like, possessions and the objects can be, like, evil and, like, crap. Like, I don't know. That's weird. If I ever look at someone smiled at me, I'm out. I'm out. Gone.
I don't really like the new horror movies that have been coming out lately.
Because they're not really scary. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really have any, like... I don't either. I'm not a big fan of the newer ones. Because I haven't had anything that scared me in a long time. It ultimately makes you off yourself. Oh, that's nuts. The stigmata bothered me, but again, that goes into, like, you know what I mean? People's perception of things. That can be true. And so I think the fact that something is more scary to me if it can be true. Or it
Me
was
too.
true. Like that. That's what really makes it scary. Not like Freddy Krueger doesn't scare me because, I mean, I don't take naps or sleep long enough to have anybody pop into my dreams anyway. Like, there ain't no Freddy Krueger's coming after me, you know? But yeah, I like Stevie. Who am I reading now? McFadden.
I want to watch Baby Reindeer. It's on Netflix. I've heard that's really good.
I haven't seen that. I do want to see that though. I haven't watched it yet.
I think that's going to be a hard watch though.
Yeah, I agree. The chicken. The Silence of the Lambs. You know, I've seen bits and pieces of Silence of the Lambs because it was around when I was younger and like my family used to watch it. But I never sat through the entire Silence of the Lambs. Never did. I've never watched the entire thing. I've read a couple of books by Dean Koontz. I have. My husband's big on him too.
Is that the one about the child pedophilia ring that gets caught?
I think he does have one like that. Yeah. Yeah. Clarice, yeah, I didn't see that one either. Put the lotion on the skin. Oh, why do I look like I need lotion?
No, I think you look fine.
Oh. Yeah, I never actually saw the whole Silence of the Lambs, but I did see bits and pieces. And the Birds from Alfred Hitchcock. I don't know why that freaking movie messed with my head so bad because it was just a bunch of birds, but it did. And I'm going to tell you right now that where I live, when the weather starts changing, all of the birds, you know, they're flying south, they're doing all this stuff, and there are going to be piles of birds outside in my street. You can't even drive down the road because for like a week or two, there's like birds everywhere, and I refuse to go outside because I'm like, I'm living in an Alfred Hitchcock movie, and it bugs me out. Oh, put the lotion on the skin is a line from the movie Silence of the Lambs. See, I told you I didn't see it because I'm sitting here. Do I really look like you all are telling me to put some lotion on? I'm like, F you people. What do you mean put some lotion on? Pretty smooth. Yeah, the Birds movie got me. Yeah, that was one of those. Like,
I haven't seen that one.
Really? You didn't see Birds? Yeah, that was.
When did it come out?
It's hell if I know. Way before me. I'm not that old, Spencer. What are you trying to say? Birds came out. Oh my god. A hell a long time ago. Way before.
If it was that old, then I probably haven't seen it or heard of it.
It's just there was a bunch of birds. Let me just put it to you that way. You'll be seeing a lot of birds. 1963. So yeah, way before me. That's hell of a long time before me.
I miss when horror movies used to actually be scary.
You had to watch The Birds in junior high. They let you watch that in school? Get the hell out of here. Damn, I'm old. Red Rocker said, damn, I'm old. On before YouTube. Yeah, we watched. My mother always we were allowed to watch those movies. My mother really watched what we watched when we were little, so there's a lot of movies I didn't see that I like try to rewatch now that I'm older and I'm allowed to, you know. But yeah, The Birds was a creepy. I don't know why it creeped me out so much. You read Handmaid's Tale in 9th grade? Get out of here. Really? The Omen scared me. So when I was younger, like my eyes can get really creepy sometimes just because of they're like multicolored, right? So depending on what I'm wearing, sometimes my eyes can look like almost like a yellow green, like they kind of look like a little weird. And I always have this stare, like I do it to this day, like where I stare off to the side. And when I was little, I never watched the movie, but my older brothers and sisters, they had watched the movie. And so they used to sit there and tease me, saying that I look like the kid from Damien from The Omen. And they'd be like, Damien. And for some reason, I would just like peer out of the side of my eye. And it used to creep them out so bad. No, I don't know why I did that, but whenever they called me Damien, I just peer at them, and it used to freak them out. Because they'd be like, they thought I looked like Damien. So they'd be like, Damien. And I'm like, and I'd give them like this like creepy peer, and they'd cry to my mother and be like, Mom, tell Damien to stop. Look how she's looking at us. Like, so yeah. I grew up with a lot of brothers, so there's that. They picked on me like no hell. So, and still to this day, they'll be like, what's up, Damien? I'm like, shut up. Right? But that was a creepy movie. Children of the Corn? Yeah, I did. My younger kids were just asking me if they can watch that. My 10-year-old, I'm like, no. Absolutely not.
When I was little, my mom has the CD for Mama, and the cover used to scare me so bad.
Really? Oh, jeez. It scared me. It really bugged me out. I like clowns though. I love clowns because again, in the 80s, like when I was born, clowns were everywhere. Like everybody had clowns. And so, yeah, like I'm not scared of clowns. I like clowns. I think they're cool. I think they bring joy. I think they're fun. I think, you know what I mean? The bright colors. I love clowns, and I know a lot of people who are creeped out by them, and I'm not one of them. I think clowns are pretty cool. I mean, unless they got blood dripping down their face and vampire teeth, then maybe not so much. But regular clowns, I love clowns. But again, I grew up with clowns everywhere. Like, everyone had that clown lamp with the big balloons. Like, you all know what I'm talking about if you were born in the 80s. Yeah, the clown masks that were decor, yes. So, yeah, I grew up with clowns everywhere. Clowns don't bother me.
Do you remember the killer clown craze of 2015 to 2017, I think it was?
I do remember that, yes. Yeah, someone just said nice clowns good, vicious eating human eating clowns not so good. Exactly.
AKA John Wayne Gacy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a guy in your town that drives around looking like Pennywise. Yeah, see, that's creepy because like if you're gonna sit there like looking like Pennywise driving a bike down the road, like yeah, that's enough for me. Like,
does he do it just for fun?
Well, either way, then you need a 5150 because if like you just love scaring the shit out of people, that's a problem.
Yeah.
If you just like being a whacked out clown, then that's a problem too. So there's that.
The only time
I did not watch Pet Sematary. I did read the book when I was like 13. The Shining, I watched. Yeah, that Shining, like, yeah, that movie was crazy. That movie, and for some reason, like, I'll never forget that frozen face at the end. And the twins, when the twins appeared and the kid in the tree, yeah, that was like all kinds of.
The blood flowing through the hallway. Yeah.
Like that, and again, like when you're talking about psychological shit, like that really would mess with me. That movie creeped me out a little bit because it was like, you know what I mean, like a psychological mindfuck. You know what I mean?
Blue Girl pointed out Carrie. That was a really good one too.
Carrie was a good one. What was the one with the prom night? Is that the right
I
one?
think so.
That one was crazy to me. Prom night.
I know what you did last summer.
Yeah. Yeah, Carrie was a really, yeah. Prom night, yeah. I remember that one too. Jeepers Creepers, that was okay. Yeah, that was good. See, Friday the 13th for me was never a big, I never really watched that one because it wasn't really scary to me. Like, psychological mind fucks and, like, spirits and ghosts and shit like that that can actually happen, that's what screws me up. Like, people snapping and, like, Saw, and, like, where you can really put somebody through some psychological torture like that shit that scares me. You know what I mean? But I'm more, like, I'm a real person. Like, things need to be real to bother me, or potentially could be real. And that whole, like, jigsaw thing, like, that could be real. Like, I'm surprised nobody did a copycat or something like that. Like, that would screw me up. Yeah. Yeah, the paranormal messes with my head. I can't. Like, that shit creeps me out. I can't watch it. I'll wake my husband up and act like, you know what I mean? I accidentally wake him up just so. I just got Verity. I did not read it yet. How was it, Sophie? Was it good? Because Verity, I just got that, and I haven't read it yet. And I have to find a day because I have to read a book in one day. I can't put it down and come back to it. Like, I'm a person who needs answers. So if I read it, I have to read it in one day. It was good. I have to read it, yeah. I have not read that one yet, though. I just finished all 3 of the Housemaid books. From Frida McFadden. I just finished the 3 of them. So I'm definitely, I might do Verity now. That's why I got it, because I needed a new book.
For some reason, when I read, I don't really like reading horror. I'm more of like a romance person when I read. And the most recent like book that I've read is If He Had Been With Me or something like that. It's a really good book.
I don't know that one. I switch on and off because you can't read too much like thriller books. You know what I mean? You need to switch it up. So I do read other genres. I have not read that one though. So did you finish reading it? You said it was good?
Yeah, I finished reading it. It's about this girl and they're like family friends. They start dating and then he ends up getting in a car accident. And then later on, afterwards, she finds out that after he died, that she was pregnant with his child. It's a really good book.
I see. That makes me sad. I read Lovely Bones. I never saw Lovely Bones, the movie, but I read the book. It was a great book. See, I would read that. See, I like the ones that get emotionally, you know what I mean? Like, give you an emotional... You know what book really? Yeah, I won't even bring that up because people find that controversial. But anybody ever read The Shack? That was probably one of my favorite books. Is The Shack? It was a great book. It was so well written. Yeah, right. I know the movie. Isn't there? I think there's a movie that just came out recently. But I read the book. I'd rather read a book than watch a movie. So if it has the book version, I'll read the book because I like to make my own little. See how it, what it looks like in my head, and then I watch the movie and I'm disappointed, so I always read the book if I can first. But yeah, Lovely Bones, I read the book, I never watched the movie. And The Shack, I read the book, one of my favorite books, and then I read the movie and I was disappointed in the movie. It played out better in my head when I read the book. So I have read Anne Rice. I do. My reading varies just depending on my mood, or like I'll go through genres for a little bit. Like right now I'm still reading thriller, and then I'll go on to like Spencer said, like romance, or like like I'm big on philosophy books. And so philosophical reading, like I do a lot of that, like studying and stuff like that. Like just because again, like philosophy, how the human mind thinks, it really interests me. So I
The
read
Great Gatsby is really good too.
Which one?
Great Gatsby.
Yeah, that was a good one. I've read all of V.C. Andrews, all of them, when I was younger, though, a lot younger. I haven't read them recently, but I read them as a kid. So, who's my favorite author? It just, oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know that I have a favorite author. You know what I mean? I tend to be that person. Either I love what I'm reading at that moment or I don't. And I usually just, if I like a book, I love it for that moment, and then I find something that I love next. I don't know that I have a favorite author. I read so many. I think, and it depends on which genre too. I don't know. I'd have to think on that one. I'll think on that one. But just like a favorite movie, I don't have one of those either, because I just, you know what I mean? I like different genres and different, depends on. Oh, I read the Twilight series. So I did. I read them years ago.
Moo was trying to get his camera time.
He's trying to get his, yeah. No, but I think I have that in my, the J.C. Duggard. I haven't read that, but I do want to read that because that's in my, like, waiting for my, yeah. That's on my reading list. I have a whole list that I keep. So my goal is, I think I read about 80, let me see, it was 80 the first three, 40 the second. I have to be up at 150, 140 books that I've read. Yeah. So I was hoping to be higher than that, but I don't really get much time. So yeah, I think I've read since January, maybe a good 100 and, I would have to guess, if I had to guess, I'd say about 120 books I've read since January.
I want to read The Diary of Anne Frank.
The Silent Patient was a great book. I read The Diary of Anne Frank. I read that as a kid, though, but I read that. That was a great book as well.
My school doesn't make us read it.
Yeah, see, did I have to read that? I think I did read that in school. And then I think I read it again on my own. But The Diary of Anne Frank was good. They do not do it in school anymore, but my daughter just read it. I did tell her she should read it, and she loved it. Yeah. Yeah, how do I find the time to read? So when I read, I usually, like I said, I'm one of those people that I have to set away time because I usually finish a book in one sitting, if not max two. I don't drag out reading. I don't like it. I want to know what happens at that moment. I'm not a patient person. So when I do read, I literally set away around a time, and it's usually at night. So if I have nothing to do the next day and it's a day that maybe I can sleep in, my kids don't have a lot going on, I will sit up all night and read because that's when my house is quiet. So I can read a book in a couple of hours. So, yeah. And so I just, that's when I find the time. Yeah, and everyone's like, I stopped reading this book. I can hate a book. I can hate the way the author writes. I can think the book is crap. It's horribly written. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I still have to finish a book because it's just, I need to know. Even if I don't like the book and it sucks, I can never put one down and not finish it. It just, I don't know. It's like I don't know what's wrong with me. But that's like a personal thing. It's like, I need to know. So, Hiding Place, I don't know that one. I don't have that one. But
The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is really good.
That was a great book. I read that book. That was a great book.
I sobbed.
I read that one, yeah. And I'm a crier, especially when I read, because I'm picturing things so much more dramatic than any TV show could ever put into play. And so, like, with The Shack, too, I cried. Like, I will literally be sitting there, my husband's like, really? Honey, it's a book. And I'm like, So I'm one of those people, yeah. I get into my books. I read The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. Yeah, I read all three of those. They were great, though. I thought they were really good, to be honest with you. I recommend them. Uh-oh. I think my kids are getting punished. Someone just slammed the door. The house, is it really being made into a movie? No way. That's crazy. I want to see it though, because I've read all of them. Have you seen Red Dog? I have not read that. I mean, I have not seen that. But
You need to watch it. You're gonna cry if you see that. Red
Really?
Dog. It's an Australian. Yeah,
oh, I know, I never have.
it's an Australian movie. You'll cry.
But on that note, guys, I'm gonna end this live. I appreciate you guys all being here, but I think my husband needs some parenting backup. So thank you guys for being here. I will be on tomorrow, but probably a little bit later because I have my daughter's birthday party. So probably about 8:39ish. And thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate you all, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.